Okay, I am just sharing on the Facebook group. I don't know if anyone's here already, but hello if you are. Just sharing so people can find the stream. Okay, it doesn't let me share on the page, so... Hello, is anybody there? Oh, hello, hi Nathan, hi Joe, yay, it worked. Just shared it on the group, it won't let me share on the Facebook page, so that's another thing I've learned. How are you both? I was only a minute late, so I wasn't too bad. Hi Jill.
Hello.
Hi Cheryl, hi Sarah. Yay, I remembered your name. How is everybody? That's good, Joe. Glad to hear it. Hi, Sonia. How is everybody? How was everybody's Christmas? We just got a delivery. It's my friend at the door if you heard her. So how is everybody?
Your lights, my dear.
Oh, thank you. Hi, Crystal. So what's everyone been up to today, or what are we doing tonight? Anything exciting? My exciting life will be that our neighbour from downstairs is coming up and we'll be having a few drinks and sitting watching TV. Oh, sounds good, Sonia. Get the boys to do the hard work. No, not a lot, Nathan. Just staying in. It's just not practical for me to go out. Hi, Terry. How are you? Yeah, I'm staying in tonight. We just, the last few years... to be honest, I've got past work this morning, chilling out this afternoon. That's good, Joe. Very healthy. I don't do workouts. Are you, Nathan? Yeah. I got past all the pubbing, clubbing stuff, to be honest. Plus, it's so expensive. Watching movies tonight. Oh, okay. Oh, that's good. What movies are you watching? You got something lined up, Sonia? Yeah, we tend to stay in, to be honest. I enjoy it just as much. Die Hard. Ah, classic. You'll be done. Hi, Michelle. How are you? I'm here for a short bit. Just finished work. I'll be there at 11 PM my time. Okay. No problem, Crystal. It's nice to see you in here. Hi, Brittany. How are you? I saw you comment, I don't know if it was on Jan or Zoe's video, that it's like colder than the Arctic where you are at the minute, Brittany. I don't think I could cope with that. I'm really good, thanks, Michelle. A bit tired, had a bad night, but apart from that, I'm all good, thank you. Watching New Year's celebration on TV and staying. It's supposed to be very cold tonight. Yeah, well, I'm doing the same, Terry, to be fair. I'm just doing another granny square, keeping it simple because I can't multitask when it comes to concentrating on what you guys are just, you know, saying, and if I can't follow a pattern right now. You're staying in as well, Cheryl. I'm glad I'm not the only one. Hi, Linny. How are you? Craft along at Big Hearts. Not sure what they're making yet. Oh, cool, Joe. I mean, make sure you post pictures. I'd love to see what you're going to be making. Oh no, you got a sick child, Brittany. That's not good. Bless. I hope he feels better soon. You're surviving. It's not long till the kids go back to school, is it? As much as I enjoy Christmas, I'm actually looking forward to next week. And hi, Ian. Nice to see you. How are you? Ephraim, hello. How are you? Happy New Year to you too, darling. The 8th. Oh, Christ. Is that really... That's a way off then. I thought they went back next week. Baby blanket for your new cousin when you get up. Oh, that's lovely. Everyone's very excited that Ephraim's in here. We haven't seen you about for a while, Ephraim.
Isn't that Charles' boyfriend? friend.
Yeah, it was Sean's Jan husband, yeah. Oh, that's good, Ian. Happy New Year. Oh, did they county golf? Yeah. Oh, that's a shame. So, well, that's the downside of homeschooling, Sonia. Isn't it? Nathan says hi. Don't think she heard me. She's a little bit deaf, so I'll make sure I tell her. Now then, the question is my mummy hiding in the stream somewhere? Oh, do you, Terry? I didn't know that. How old are your children then? I thought your kids were growing up. I'm just doing a granny square, Ian, because I can't read the comments and concentrate on a pattern at the same time, so I can do it without looking. I'm going to make a scrap blanket. Oh, Crystal's got homeschool. Oh, homeschooling seems quite popular. I can see pros for it because you don't have the bullying issue. I got terribly bullied at school. I've been bullied in the workplace as well, but that's a whole other story. Oh, okay. So you have a 15-year-old as well. Oh, that's what. Because I thought you had a married son. I was a bit confused, Terry. That makes sense now. I didn't realise you had two. Oh, Joe's granny squaring as well. Woohoo! Oh, Crystal, that sounds hard work. 13 with anger issues. Is he getting any help for it? I've actually had to do anger management classes, believe it or not. I've actually done them 3 times. And that's pretty much sorted me out. But that was through Mind. Oh, okay. Well, I'm glad he's getting help. 2 more years to go. Hey, Terry. Not that you're counting. It's good that you have a good enough relationship, all of you that homeschool, that to be able to do that with your children. So I should think it probably has its stressful moments. Yeah, I've had a lot of difficulties with anger management over the years. My youngest is the only one left being home educated. He's 12, 13 in April. My other 2 were, but one is now at uni and the other at work. Oh, that's good, Sonia. When he's a senior, I'll probably be counting the days. I don't blame you, Terry. So it sounds like Terry and Crystal, you're around about the same point, aren't you? Oh, well, it's nice that you're all finding out your homeschooling. So hopefully that's going to build a little support network for all of you, which is nice. That's one of the things I love about YouTube, is you can sort of accidentally find stuff out just through mutual connections. I've certainly found that to be true. I've come across so many people that have mental health problems and have confided in me and stuff, and you know, I've been able to hook people up. So for instance, Jan Carruthers and Kelly from I'm Yarn Inspired, they were both in Manchester. Jan hadn't come across Kelly on YouTube, and in one of her videos she said that she'd really love a crafty friend that lived nearby, and I thought, So I messaged Jan and said, well, are you aware of Kelly? And she wasn't. So I gave her the channel, and sort of from there they've become friends, and now they're doing videos together. So that's pretty amazing, isn't it, that we can all sort of help each other like that. It's one of the things I love about our community. Even if you can't benefit yourself, it's always nice to help other people, isn't it? So what's everybody working on today? I know Joe's doing a granny square. Is anyone doing anything exciting? Yeah, well, same here, Sonia. I'm still looking for crafty friends near me too. I'm just thankful I've got all you guys on YouTube. I homeschooled my oldest all the way through when he was a senior. My youngest started kinder, so as soon as I finished him, I started over with the second. Oh, you're glutton for punishment then, Terry. You didn't time that very well, did you? Well, I suppose you could argue you did, because you didn't have 2 at the same time. Oh, cool. So Sonia's doing the top and she's almost finished Nan's jumper. Was your nan's jumper the knitted one that you've been showing on camera? Starting a gift for middle tiny human. Just finished off a oh, you did another dinosaur. Cool. That's good. I'm glad you managed to get it done, Linny. Hi, Deb. How are you? So, Deb's doing a scarf as we speak. A late gift. Oh, well, yeah, I did a late gift as well, as you've seen. I love watching Jan. It's really exciting when Sue or Kelly stop in. Yeah, I agree, Crystal. I do really enjoy it. When she's got... I love... to be honest, I could listen to Jan for hours, so I'd quite happily... Yeah, that dinosaur pattern was lovely, wasn't it, Terry? It was really very cute. I've got a pattern that's very similar that I downloaded, but I don't know if it's the same one, so I'll have to pull it out at some point and compare notes with Linny. Right, so the knitted jumper was your nan's. Okay. Just a half sleeve and it's finished. Oh, not far to go then. You're a quicker knitter than I am, that's for sure. Oh, that's good. I'm glad you're okay, Deb. Yeah, I'm good. I'm a little bit tired. I had a bad night. I didn't get to sleep till 5 AM. No particular reason, just mental health. Happens every now and then. Woke up at 10, so I've had 5 hours sleep, so I'm feeling a bit ugh. So the smile's hiding the tiredness. I'm currently cleaning my fish tank out, which I hate doing. Oh, God. We had fish growing up, and it's, yeah, it's not a nice smell when you clean them out, is it, Nathan? I don't envy you there. Working on a virus shawl, just as a break from a large project, as I've been working on since August. Granny Squares. Oh, cool. I do like the virus shawl. I've only actually done one shawl. I've done one blanket, virus blanket, and I've got one that I still haven't finished yet. Can't say I miss cleaning the fish tank either. No, I'm with you on that one, Sonia. I love having fish. They're beautiful to watch, but the cleaning out's just doesn't matter how small the tank is. It just blah. We actually had when I was growing up. This will make you laugh. We had 2 different incidents when I was growing up. We had quite a large fish tank. They were cold water fish, and it had a glass lid on it. And we had a cat who was my best friend growing up. She absolutely adored her. Her name was Tippy. She had a white tip on her tail. That's why the name. And I've had so many virus shawls. Love the pattern, so easy. Yeah, I agree, Sonia. It is. It's quite addictive, isn't it? I've had to stop myself from making too many. Get a bit boring on the channel. I'm making a virus. Yeah, I found the same, Terry, that it can be a bit stiff. Depends what yarn you're using. I know you did a video, but I've forgotten what yarn you said it was. Mine softened up a lot when I washed it, so I wouldn't worry too much. It just depends what yarn you're using. Yeah, so as I was saying about the fish, we had a glass top, and our cat used to love laying on top of it. I think partly because it was warm, because obviously there was a bulb underneath lighting the tank up, and also she could watch the fish. And this one particular time, I was quite young, I was under 9, so primary school age, and my mum took the lid off to just clean it a little bit. It wasn't like a full clean, but she took it off to sort of clean the lid where the cat had been laying, and to obviously feed them. And Tippy didn't realise that there was no glass, and she jumped and fell in. I've never seen a cat move so fast, let's put it that way. No fish, please no. I worked at a pet supply store, now I hate fishing. Oh, bless you. I'm using Premier. Oh yes, Premier Sweet Roll. That's it. I've never used that. What's that like? Is it rough or is it soft? Or I've seen them, but I've never actually gone and had a squish in the shop. I don't get to the yarn shop very often, so I tend to get a lot of my stuff online. For the very rare occasion I do buy stuff. Yeah, poor cat. I know. Bless her. She never did it again. She still laid on the top, but she was a lot more cautious than before. She did that. There was another occasion where Mum was cleaning them out, and we used to have goldfish and blackmores and fantails, and one of our blackmores, they're the ones with the big goggly eyes and the beautiful sort of fanned out tails, and it was quite a big fish, and we'd had it quite a lot of years, and Mum took the top off again to do some just like spot cleaning and feed them, and while the lid was off, this fish decided to do a jump for it, and it jumped out of the tank and down the back. So we had to try and move a whole tank. This tank was big, try and pull it to get the fish out from behind because it got stuck. Yeah, we managed to rescue it and he did survive a few more years, so it wasn't but that was funny games, trying to get it back in the tank quick enough and trying to move the tank in order to get to it. I made a blank with the sweet rolls. It's like red heart. You have to kill the acrylic in a dryer. Oh, okay. Well, that's good to know, Ephraim. Thanks for that. Lost you all for a minute there. Oh, fishies. We used to have lots of tanks, just two set up now. Oh, you've got fish as well. Cool, you've got quite a menagerie then, Joe. We had a couple of fish try to get out. The catfish were blighters for it. Oh, really? Did you have tropical fish then, Sonia? It's soft in the cake, but it works up stiff. Hopefully softens in the wash. This is the first time using it. I really want to get some more of the Mandela yarn. I have to say I have been eyeing up the Mandela yarn. I've looked on Wool Warehouse here in the UK online, and I found a colour I really liked, and it was out of stock, and it still hasn't gone back in stock. So, so that's on the want list. Yes, cats, dogs, fish in a tiny house. Oh, blimey. It's bad enough here with 2 cockatiels and a bearded dragon. And then if Mum brings one of the dogs around, it's really quite cramped in here. So I know how you feel. My mum's in a little bungalow with 3 dogs. We love tropical fish, but they're a lot of work. Yeah, they are. My my ex-boyfriend had a tropical tank for a while. He had terrible problem with algae and all sorts. And they all ended up dying in the end. He just couldn't seem to manage it and keep it a healthy tank. Oh, it's a number 3, is it, Terry? I didn't know that. So it's a bit thinner than RDK then. Using Mandela for the first time, loving it, so soft. Oh, that's good to know, Cheryl. Mine's playing up at the moment. I'm changing the media in the filter because the tank keeps going all green really quick. Is yours a tropical tank as well then, Nathan? Because that sounds like the same problem my ex had. Blonde chihuahua and a black cat. Oh, chihuahuas can be feisty though. Lovely, but very feisty. Yeah, our pump broke and basically screwed it up, and we could not afford to get it. Oh, yeah. See, we've had issues with Spike's tank, our bearded dragon, because they have to have UV and heat, and we've had both appliances break over the years, so it's a bit of a scramble to get stuff to keep him alive. Mandela is a double neck, calls for 4mm. Okay, Lutheran. That's good to know. I have to say 4mm are my favourites. Jeannie's 3/4 chihuahua. Oh, is she feisty then? Chip says hi, Deb. Deb says hi, Chip. Oh, have you? So Nathan's only got goldfish. They're a little bit easier to manage than tropical, to be fair. Just 3 tiny humans here, although the boys name the spider. Oh, God. I don't cope with spiders. That's my one thing I don't like. Love the Mandela yarns. Everyone speaks really highly of the Mandela yarn, so I do want to give them a go at some point. She can be all £4. The trouble is with little dogs, and don't get me wrong, because I love all dogs. I've grown up with dogs. I adore dogs. If I could have a dog right now, I would, but it's just not practical where we live. Spiders are a big no-no for all of us here. Yeah, same here. 2 cats, 1 dog, 1 cockatiel and 8 fish. You got a cockatiel, Nathan? I didn't know that. Hi, Kelly. How are you? You need to show Teddy on, I think it was your last video, or the one before that, Terry, where I could hear tick, 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 with the old claws on the floor, and I could see you kept glancing away, and I thought, she's got her dog there. Why isn't she showing it? 1 dog, 2 cats. So you've got quite a few as well, Cheryl. Dogs scare me, but hubby loves dogs, so we are not allowed pets in this house, so we can't have one anyway. Laugh out loud, but I'm a cat person. Yeah, I think you're either or both. I'm both, but I do slightly gravitate more to dogs. But I do like cats. My mum's last cat, she had her for quite a few years, and she was the sweetest. You only had to look at her and she'd purr. If she thought there was even the slightest chance she'd get fussed, she was happy. I'm good, thanks. Just settled down. Oh, Bed Knobs and Broomsticks. Love that film. I thought it was Terry. You have to show him. I think you've only shown him once on camera. Oh, you've got a yellow one too. Oh, I didn't know. What's your one called then, Nathan? Not got Mandela yet. I've somewhat sorted my stash and just can't do, yeah, can't justify more yarn. Not got, yeah, I'm getting to that point as well. Lutina Teca. Oh, I love the names, Nathan. That's cool. Yeah, I love Bed Knobs and Broomsticks too, Linny. That's good fun. I'm sorry if I keep looking at the camera. It's just where I'm just making sure I can see the comments. It's on a gooseneck, so it's a little bit. Been trying to convince my boys to watch Bed Knobs and Broomsticks. I love it. Yeah. Trouble is, it's such an old film now, isn't it? You know, it's sort of showing our age a little bit, aren't we? I usually film standing up and camera on a tripod, not used to it moving around. Maybe do Crafty Girl sitting, and then maybe he'll be with me. Yeah, that's a good idea, Terry. Oh, okay, I didn't know that, Nathan. That goes to show how much I know, doesn't it? Yours are Disney addicts, are they? You gotta love a Disney film. I never get tired of Disney films. Jungle Book's one of my favourite ones. It's the first film my mum ever took me to see. I have so much yarn that I have brought through the years that I just can't bring myself to go to Hobby Lobby. That is opening near me. Oh, that could be dangerous. Hobby Lobby opening near you. Oh dear. Oh, do you, Terry? I don't know that I ever saw it at the cinema. I don't know. Unless my mum took me and I just don't remember. But yeah, I think it's one of the few films I haven't got on DVD that I actually really do love. Because it doesn't go on TV very often these days, does it? So Nathan, I have a question for you if you have a cockatiel. Does yours eat fruit? Because our two just will not eat fruit for love nor money. They look at us like we're trying to poison them. Hobby Lobby has lots of very soft yarns. Yeah, I've heard that. I would love what I wouldn't give to go to Hobby Lobby and Michael's and all the stuff that you have. Love Jungle Book to a big hit, big child. Yeah, I am too. I never get tired of that one. Good luck, Deb. I've got Michael's and Hobby Lobby near me. I think it's fatal if you've got a craft store near you, isn't it? My dad always loved the part where the suits of armour came alive. Oh, miss your dad. Yeah, I totally understand that, Terry. Bless you. I'm quite lucky that both my parents are still alive at the minute. I don't know how I'll cope when that time comes. I dread that. It happens to us all. Yeah, the Magic Army, yeah. It's one of the best bits, isn't it? You should see my DVD collection, which includes sing-along versions. Biggest child in the house. Are you, Sonia? Oh, that's cool. You're welcome, Deb. We've got a B&M store that's being built literally round the corner from here. No fruit, but lettuce and dandelion leaves. I haven't tried them with dandelion leaves, actually. Perhaps I'll try that. I've tried lettuce, fruit, everything healthy that they should have. But I think dandelion's the only thing I haven't tried. And they just kind of stick their beaks up in there as if to say, what is this disgusting stuff you're giving me? That's not okay. But Chip came with quite bad addictions because she lived with children before she came here. You're popcorn, really? Well, I've never tried it with popcorn. I wouldn't be surprised if she ate it, to be fair. It's going to be hard. I love Hobby Lobby. I used to make a weekly trip. Oh dear. Bank balance could be going down then, Deb. Your DVD collection was in the background of one of your Vlogmas videos. Oh, yes, it was. You're right, Joe. I didn't... Yeah, now you've said that, it was. She has a massive DVD collection. I thought I had a lot of DVDs, but Sonia outdoes me. I love talking with you all, but I'm falling asleep while talking. Okay, Crystal. Well, have a good sleep. Thank you for popping in. It's very hard to know what's the best time to do these streams. But it's good to see you. Thank you for popping in. I used to have two, but I only got one now. Oh, what happened to your other one then? Yes, it was Joe. We've learnt some. Oh, you've got. I was going to say, it's a pretty impressive collection, Sonia. My parents took me to an independent cinema who did reruns to see Snow White. I was terrified. Oh, yeah, Snow White's a bit of a funny one. I'm not. That's not one of my favourite ones. This is a great time for me in Texas, 8:30 a.m. here. Okay. Yeah, I was trying to work it so that in Australia I would catch people before they went to bed. In America, I could catch people as they were getting up. And obviously in the UK, everybody's up because it's early afternoon. So I was trying to, because I don't like sort of excluding Australia, but it's such a massive time difference from here with them. So I don't think we've got anyone from Australia in actually. But obviously it's already New, well, depending on where they are in Australia, probably New Year's now, isn't it? So we're not far off. So I expect people are preoccupied today. Terry, Michelle wants to know which part of Texas you're from. My friend that I care for, her sister lives in Texas actually. She's in Abilene. Yeah, it does make it hard, Sonia, you're right, because I don't like kind of excluding people. I want as many people to come and join so I can get to know people better. It's so tricky. Me and my sister had one each from the same breeder. I had her on in the end and mine, and it died a couple of years ago. Oh, was it very old then, Nathan? San Antonio. Oh, I know San Antonio. I used to book a lot of flights there for my boss when I was a PA. Got Disney stuff for Christmas. I'm the biggest kid here. Well, I think you and Sonia might have been competition there. Yes, you were, weren't you, Michelle? I forgot that. Michelle was actually over in the San Antonio. I saw her pictures go up on her Facebook. Hi, Nerdy. I'm tempted to just call you Elle as you won't remind me what your name is. So which would you prefer? What time is it where you are then? Okay. You're not fussy then, huh? 5. That's quite young, isn't it? Because they can live to 15, can't they? 7:30. Oh, gosh. Whereabouts? Because you're in America, aren't you? Whereabouts in America? Because there's different time zones in America. I forget that. Because Terry, it's 8:30. I think she just said so. Trying to think how old Chip is. I think she's about 5. I think. I'm trying to think how long we've had her. We got her in 2013, so we've had her 4. So she's about 5, 5.5 is Chip is. 7:30, mountain time. Oh, yeah, okay. It's kind of, I find it weird with America because you have so many different time zones. And because in the UK we just have one time zone for everybody, it's always weird for us. We're so far out of the way down here in Devon. I sometimes feel we should be in a different time zone. Well, you're not as far as Cornwall. It could be worse, Joe. Deb says, I'm in the Eastern time zone. It's 9:30 here. So it's quite a very difference. There's a 2-hour difference between you, isn't it? I get so confused with the time zones in America. Yeah, I do as well, Sonia, to be fair. Yeah, Linny's in Cornwall. You see, she beats you, Joe. She's she's pretty much as far as you can go. Short being on Land's End. And she ain't that far from there. I've been to Cornwall once, which was my honeymoon. Many, many years ago. With my abusive ex-husband. And we spent a week down. That was really good. It was a nice week, but we had to use buses and stuff, which wasn't great because my car broke down on the way down there. That was a whole nother story. You can share a time zone. Yeah. Yeah, I love Cornwall as well, Joe. It's beautiful down there. Sonia's in Devon as well. Oh, no, sorry, I misread that. Where are you in Devon, Joe? Sonia used to live in Plymouth. The thing I love about Cornwall is just how blue the sea is, because it's like being abroad. You know, the nearest seaside town to where I live is a place called Felixstowe, and it's kind of grey, horrible, black, brown colour, the sea where we are. It really is not appealing. That's it. I couldn't remember the name of it, but I'm not even going to try and pronounce it because you know what my pronunciation's like. Ha! It's a dream of mine to see England one day. Well, Cheryl, if you ever come over, come and see me. We can meet up. Depends where you want to go in England, mind you, because we might not be as big as America, but there is so many different things to see here. Oh, Deb does it too. Well, you see, look, you two will have to arrange to come together, and then we'll have to arrange a little meet up. I would like to meet up with everybody one day, but it's just the practicalities getting everybody in one place, and it's travelling expenses, and I just can't afford it at the minute. I have to get everyone to come see me. Oh, do you, Cheryl? You want to visit everybody? Well, that's a nice option to have, really, isn't it? I kind of feel like with America now, it's like, you know, there were specific places in America I wanted to see, but now I'm kind of like, I feel like I'd want to travel around and meet everybody. It's I guess in the UK it just depends on what sort of thing you want, whether you want history or you want, you know, touristy stuff. I would have to win the lottery, laugh aloud. Well, I'm in the same position, Deb, to be fair, because flights to America are not cheap. I've been to Canada twice, and both times return flights cost me £1,500. That was when I was working as a PA, and even then I struggled to pay for it. So I took a lot of saving up, and I certainly don't have the spare cash for that these days. Of course, I'd have to do the lottery in the first place in order to win it, but hey. Local vloggers. Yeah, that's true, you would, Joe. Oh, Cheryl's the same. We could start GoFundMe accounts. That's very true. You can do that, can't you? Okay, Sonia. See you in a minute. Brainstorm. Yeah, well, I think it's pretty much the same everywhere in the UK at the minute, Nini, isn't it? I have to say, the GoFundMe isn't necessarily a bad idea. You've got people that would be willing to help. I mean, there are people that do stuff like that, isn't there? For, you know, for trips. They do it for all sorts of things. I never think to do stuff like that. I always think it's a bit... I don't know. I think it's the way I was brought up. It's like, you know, you try and do stuff yourself. I don't mind my parents helping me. That's a little bit different. But I'd feel a bit... I mean, it's like on YouTube you can... You know, as your channel gets bigger, you can choose to do Patreon, where people, you know, I know Bob Wilson 123, for instance, does it, and people just send in money, donate it to help sort of fund her projects and keep her channel going, which for her is really valuable because she's a huge YouTuber. But for someone like me, I would feel like I was just being cheeky. Do you know what I mean? Especially when everyone's donating so much yarn to me and stuff. You know, people are really being so kind. Very slowly because I'm nattering so much. Can't type in crochet. I have the same problem when I'm in Shan Streams. I've actually got to the point where I don't bother trying to crochet when I was in I wish there was a coffee fairy, yeah. Sadly there's not though, is there, nerdy? Yeah, well in my case it would be a tea fairy, but I know what you mean. I did make myself a cup of tea before I sat down, so oh, Terry's finishing hers, so she's already had the yarn fairy. That's wishful thinking, isn't it? Coffee fairy even. Do you have herbal or do you have English tea? I expect it's herbal in America, isn't it? You're not. Joe says tea fairy be right. That's not fussy. Well, that's a good way to be, Joe. Real tea usually. Oh, that's cool. I found when I went to Canada, I'm presuming America's the same, that actually getting what we call, you know, proper English tea, you just couldn't get it over there. The nearest I could get was Twining's English Breakfast was the only one I could find. My favourite tea, well, I like PG Tips as far as normal tea goes. That I could drink that till the cows come home, but it does affect too much caffeine makes my anxiety really bad. And I've also discovered it affects my sleep patterns really badly. So for health reasons, I've had to cut back. So I usually have one like PG in the mornings when I wake up to sort of help counteract my medication, because it has a sedation effect as one of the side effects, to help wake me up. And then if I'm driving, I might have a second one, but then I stop just to make sure I'm alert. But generally I go to herbal, and my favourite one is actually strawberry and vanilla. It's Clipper tea. I think you have that in America, don't you? You can get English tea. Oh, can you, Cheryl? Well, I didn't know. You see, when I was in Canada, there was only one shop I actually found. I found Tetley tea bags, which is a well-known brand over here. But it was very hard to get normal tea bags. I actually took a box of tea bags with me because that was before I had my breakdown. So I... a very English thing to do. You'll find a lot of English people will take a box of tea bags with them when they go abroad, because it's very hard to get proper tea. It's a weird thing we all do. Western Canada has Murchie's tea, if I pronounced that right. I don't think I saw that when I was in Canada. I found it very hard to get a decent cup of tea in Poland when we visited. And as for the milk, I won't say, well, that smelled like, oh, that don't sound good. At least when I was in Canada, the milk, because in the UK we have skimmed milk, semi-skimmed and full fat. We have 3. And when I went to Canada, and I think America's the same, it's like 5% and 3% and I don't know, all these different percentages, and I didn't know what that meant. I was completely lost. Didn't start drinking coffee till I was over 40. It's old age creeping in, nerdy. Same age as me, ain't you? Yeah, the strawberry and vanilla one is really nice. I'm quite fussy when it comes to tea. I have got some lemon and ginger to try, which Nathan recommended in my last stream. I'm not convinced by the smell, but I'm going to give it a go. But I am really fussy. I tend to like fruit teas more. I think because I always had sugar in my like PG Tips, so I think that's why. Clipper doesn't exist here. I only know of it because yarn dye sent me some. Oh, really? Because I thought when I was in Canada, I'm sure I saw some, but maybe I imagined it. Oh, Virginia kept a lot of English traditions. Oh, okay, so you're in a good state then, obviously. Coffee is the best, I swear. Canada is known for the coffee shop Tim Hortons. I've not heard of that. I have to say, the town where I live, so many cafes and coffee shops now. So you've got Starbucks, we've got 2 Cafe Neros. It's only a small town. And then we've got a Costa. So we've got all like, chain ones, but we've got lots and lots of independent like cafes and coffee shops, because we get a lot of tourists where we live. But when you live in the town, it's like, how many more coffee shops do we actually need? Coffee shops and mobile phone shops is what our town consists of predominantly. And M&S, the Works and Poundland and the post office and Smith's. That's about it. I just got chocolate and coke. Ooh, chocolate and coconut. That sounds good. What brand is that, Linny? Black tea flavoured with strawberry. Ooh. Hi, Sarah. How are you? Canadians drink more tea than the British, I heard. Well, I can only speak from my experience when I went. I went to Western Canada, and everywhere I went had coffee. The tea was very limited. Even in the hotels, it was all coffee pots. There was no kettles to make tea or anything. We actually had to request a kettle. We have Four Costa, and it's a tiny tea. Yeah, see, you're. It sounds like you're the same as me, Linny. It's kind of annoying, isn't it, when you live there? We import tea from BC. Now, when I was in BC, Nerdy, I didn't really see much tea at all. Most of the what I would call normal British tea I saw when I was in Alberta, up in Whistler. Sarah says I found the ginger a bit strong in the lemon and ginger. Yeah, that's the only thing I'm worried about. I love lemon, but I like strong lemon, so that's the only thing that could swing it. I drink herbal teas. I love mint and licorice. I tried the Twinings pure licorice tea and it's vile. Yeah, it's funny you say that. I tried Sainsbury's own brand licorice one because I love licorice. And I tried it and it was just like dirty, stinky old feet. It really... It didn't taste anything like licorice. I was so disappointed because I love licorice. Though I think licorice can be not diuretic, help you go the other end. Loosen you up. Oh, okay, Lenny. I'll have to look out for that one then. Starbucks opening in January. Oh boy, I may have to go back to it. Oh dear. I have to say, out of all of them, when one of my friends comes home, because she always drags me out for a coffee, we always tend to end up in Starbucks, funnily enough. Oh, I'm glad you're okay, Sarah. Did you have a nice Christmas? Just a bit quiet. Oh, bless you. If I go back, go to Murchie's Tea and Coffee. Okay. There's 2 or 3 shops in Vancouver and at least one on Vancouver Island. Oh, cool. To be fair, I didn't really get a chance to go around the shops in Vancouver because I was only there for, well, slightly less than 24 hours. And the first 12 hours of that was jet lag and head hit pillow, 8 o'clock in the evening, Canadian time. I've been up for 24 hours straight and I just slept for 12 hours. So I was literally only had about 12 hours to look round. We kind of did the park and stuff like that. 3 licorice by Bucker. We don't Celestial Seasonings. What are those? I haven't seen any Puckers in our supermarkets here. Saw my niece and nephew. Oh, that's good. Ordered 20 different Twinings herbal teas from eBay so I could try different ones instead of buying 20 the same and not liking them. Yeah, funny enough, I've just done a similar thing. I've just bought a multi-pack from them as well. I think there's about 4 of each one. I think there's about 5 or 6 different flavours to try. I do keep trying. I find Twinings aren't very strong though. You have to stew them for ages. Oh, okay, Nerdy. Isn't it weird that I don't get Pucker tea where I am? Everyone else does. Yeah, I really do like Clipper. Very slow typer, so my comments might be out of context. That's alright, don't worry. I might be an XPA, but when it comes to typing on things like tablets, I'm very, very slow. Because obviously you're having to do this and I'm used to doing this because it's all touchscreen. You can't touch more than 1 letter at a time. It drives me crazy, so don't worry. I'm very slow these days to what I used to be. Love my herbal tea. We get Pucker here. Isn't it weird that everyone else gets it? I'm going to have to go on a proper hunt, I think. Peppermint and licorice is lovely too. Okay. I'll have to give that a try. £3 something, 20 different tea bags. Oh, that's pretty good. That's a good price, Nathan. You did well there. You'd have to let me know if there's any good ones, Nathan, if you discover some new ones. Pretty fast typing on you. Now you're just showing off. Fast typer on my iPad. Three mint tea. That's the one thing I haven't tried is any mint teas. I do like mint. Hi Kathy, Happy New Year to you too. Thank you. How are you? Oh, did you? I see. Girl after my own heart, all admin, yeah. Hi Eve, how are you? Sonia's on her iPad as well. Have you tried Tesco for Clipper? I haven't. I don't go in Tesco very often, mainly because I'm trying to avoid an X. Yep, there's always one, you're right. I don't like popcorn tea though. I haven't tried that. I've never even heard of popcorn tea. Is that literally just popcorn flavour? Is it what I'm thinking it is? Happy New Year, Eve. Thank you. Did you have a good Christmas? Ugh. I never set eyes on my ex-husband again. It'll be too soon. Well, yeah, I'm the same. My ex-husband, I don't really talk about this on the channel particularly, but my ex-husband was very abusive and, well, let's just say the marriage didn't last very long because I walked. Yeah, I'm good, thank you, Eve. Thank you very much. I'm glad you had a good time. We had a nice time here as well. Kathy's starting her day in California. Or California, you've got better weather than us then. What is the little yellow? Oh, what, up there? Do you mean Terry? Yeah, he's a jerk. You're right. But I avoid him. I've got tea in this. I haven't drunk it yet. Thank you. Has popcorn in it. Okay, Linnea, we'll do. Remind me though, because I might forget. Thank you. That's very kind. Need coffee. Okay, so Terry's asking about that. Well, I'm trying to get my finger in the right. Got to go that way. There we go. There. That's Little Miss Sunshine. It was actually made for me. I'm part of a group on Facebook called well, there's two groups, and there was a splinter group, but there was one called Jar of Joy and one called Pots of Positivity. And before I started YouTube, I joined those groups because I was trying to find a more positive place to be in on a day-to-day basis because depression is a very negative illness. And one of the things they do, and it's very similar sort of thing to what we do in our yarn community, is we do what we call happy mail swaps. So you get partnered up with somebody by one of the admin in the group. You say you want to be part of it and you get partnered with somebody. And I got partnered with a lovely lady called Sarah. And you have, I think the budget was £5. And you could make something, you could buy stuff. And it was basically stuff to make that person happy. And she actually made that. I think it was a kit. So I basically stitched the arms and legs on and stuffed it. She's put a little tag on it for me as well. So I stick that up there with that's all my Mariner yarns there, just to remind me to be happy. And it's a nice little reminder that people are kind. And this was obviously before I did YouTube, and all you guys have been all so amazing. So so that's what that is. Yeah. Oh, it's okay, Deb. Don't worry about it. It's a long time ago, and trust me, I've dated someone even worse since then. So my luck with men has not been terrific. Let's put it that way, which is why I've been single for the last 3.5 years. And I'm actually in quite a happy place about being single. I miss having male company, but I don't miss all the relationship nonsense that goes on with it. If you know, I'm sure you all know what I mean. Oh, bless you, Nerdy. Speaking of coffee, I need more. What a surprise, Brittany. And then it'll be alcohol for you tonight, no doubt. My husband bought a fancy electric kettle. $60 for a kettle? Flipping it. Was it gold-plated? Wow. I never really like coffee. I need it heavily flavoured to drink it. Yeah, I don't mind coffee, but without being too graphic, coffee actually makes me unwell. I suffer from IBS, and that's a massive trigger for me. So I only have, if I go to Starbucks, I have a latte, or sometimes I'll just have tea anyway, but I will have a latte, so it's really milked down. I'll only have one, but I'm very careful about when I drink it because it's a trigger. I used to work in the solicitors, and they used to supply the coffee, and they had a grinding machine, but the coffee was like, it was like it'd been swept off of a factory floor. It was horrible, and it used to give me such terrible gut ache. We all used to feel ill with it, and that put me off. That was kind of the last time I drank coffee on a regular basis, and I've stuck to tea since then. It doesn't affect me quite so badly. 50% coffee creamer. Yeah, it's lovely, isn't it, Linny? Yeah, I mean, that group is still going, so if any of you are ever, interested, then I think I think it was set up, both of them were set up. Well, the Jar of Joy was set up by a lady who runs a company who does jewelry, and I can't remember the name of it. That might come back to me in a bit. And she set up the original Jar of Joy, and that became part of her company thing, and the Facebook group was kind of a splinter so that people could try and find the joy in their daily lives. I did about a year or so ago, was it two? No, it must have been 2 years ago. At the beginning of the year, I did actually start doing Jar of Joy posts on my personal Facebook. So I would put something that happened that day, or something that was my joy for the day. So it could be, I mean, now it would obviously be that I've had time to sit and crochet, or I finished a project, or, my birds have been well behaved, or I got to go out. It can be all sorts of things, whatever makes you happy. It could be your kids smiling at you, anything, you just, depends what. So I think it's a lovely idea. I have actually thought about perhaps doing it again this year, but I'm still not quite decided. Yeah, Happy Mail. Yeah. I've seen I've joined an endometriosis support group. I don't know if those of you weren't in my last stream. That's been my what I've just been diagnosed with, and I've noticed that they do Happy Mail in that group as well. So it's quite a common thing. I mean, I think as yarn people, we do kind of all do Happy Mail anyway, because we send each other yarn and we help each other out with different things. Which reminds me, Linny, I still haven't forgotten about those Lego cards. Money was so tight before Christmas. And now we've got the assessment out of the way, and I know I've got money definitely still coming in. I will send those cards to you soon, I promise. I just, life's been in the way, but I haven't forgotten. Sorry that I digress there. But yeah, I mean, we kind of do that, and you think, how many of you guys that have sent me yarn, which I'm incredibly grateful for. That always makes me immensely happy. So that's a form of Happy Mail. And I've had so many lovely little cards and stuff, and I've got a little sort of scrap folder that I've got them all in. I just got to stick them all in. So that will be one of my joyful things, will be looking through that and seeing all the lovely notes. So like Jo, for instance, who's in the stream right now, she sent me something and has put a lovely note in it, so that will be going in my scrapbook. Jan has sent me so many notes you wouldn't believe. Jan has been so incredibly kind to me, but there's lots of you that have done it, so that's kind of a Happy Mail thing. So I think we kind of do it in the yarn community naturally, actually, which I think is pretty amazing. Coffee strip machine is over 20 years old, blimey. Oh, did you, Nerdy? Oh, bless you. Sounds like we've got similar histories, actually, doesn't it? Most of the guys, I think bar one, have all been slightly younger than me. It's not been an intentional thing, just how life's happened. Not a huge amount. I think the biggest difference has been about 4 years, but I think men... No offence to the guys in the stream. I love you all. You're all very grown up, all of you. But the particular men that I've come across in my life that have been in a relationship sort of side of things have always been quite immature. And I get very impatient with that. All right, Nerdy. Long neck and a digital, I don't know what. Jo married 8 years younger. Oh, she's got a toy boy. Oh, do you, Nerdy? So you've got IBS too. Well, the thing is with IBS, you can swing between. Sorry, this is gonna. If you're squeamish or easily offended, I apologise, but this is life, isn't it? So I'm going to talk about these things because talking about conditions sometimes helps other people. So IBS can be either chronic diarrhea, chronic constipation, or you can swing between the two. And for me, I get both ends of the scale, shall we say. So sometimes coffee can help me. So I know what you're saying. Just depends on personal. I tend to swing more the other way, but without going into too much detail, I'm grossing you all out. Hope nobody's eating. Caramel flavour or vanilla flavoured coffee milk. That sounds nice. I tell you what I do like when I go to Starbucks is a caramel latte. They put caramel syrup in it. That's really nice. Husband is 11 months younger. Well, that's not too much of a difference, is it? Latte's amazing. Next time you go to Starbucks, you request steamed milk with a shot of flavour and it will wake you up. Oh, okay. So that's, yeah, Starbucks. Yeah, so, okay, I'll try and remember that next time I go. I have IBS as well. Need to say, yeah, wheat and dairy. Yeah, see, that's the other thing with IBS is wheat, caffeine and dairy are all known triggers. Not a lot is known about IBS. They don't really know what triggers it. But one thing that I have discovered, having seen the registrar at my last hospital appointment, is she actually asked me if I suffered from IBS, which I confirmed because I've had it since I was 18. And that can be a very strong indicator that you have endometriosis. Not saying anybody has, but it makes me wonder if I've had this condition for a lot longer than obviously the period that I've been aware that I've been having problems, if you see what I'm saying. It doesn't necessarily mean that you do, but it can be an indicator. So it's just something to bear in mind. And wheat, gluten, dairy and red meat, from what I understand, are also things that can make endometriosis worse as well as IBS. So that's just something to bear in mind. Chocolate flavoured creamer. Ooh, that sounds nice. Yay for younger men. Cheryl says I tease my hubby about that too. The only thing I avoid is alcohol. On the whole, I do as well, but I will be partaking a little bit tonight. I just don't go mad. I'm on antidepressants anyway. Alcohol's a depressant, so I have to be careful. It's you know, you've still got to live. Alcohol is bad for endometriosis as well, because refined sugars is not good for endometriosis. So alcohol doesn't tend to affect my IBS. But obviously I've got other conditions, and also because alcohol is a depressant, it can affect my depression, it can stop my antidepressants from working, so I do have to be careful about what I drink and how much. So I'll probably just have 1 or 2 drinks tonight. It won't be a lot. Do you have GAD or a different type of... What's GAD? Happy Mail is a really cool concept. I love watching Happy Mail. Yeah, I agree, Sonia. It's brilliant, isn't it? Absolutely love it. It's definitely something that I'd like to do more of this year. It's nice making other people happy, isn't it? I think we live in such a selfish society. It's nice to give something back. Freaking dog is staring at you. Is it after food? When my mum's dogs sit and stare at her, it means they want food. Or they want the toilet. That could be the other thing. Oh, okay, Lenny, that's all right then. Thank you. I'm a little bit behind the comments. I'm still catching up because I've been yapping so much. Speaking of yarn, have you figured out what you're going to do with the yarn I gave you? No, I haven't. I'm trying to find the right project for it. I'm a bit funny with my American yarns because they're so pretty and I don't want to get rid of them. I don't know if any of you get this, but you know, I want to stroke it and spend some time with it. I'm the same with what Grace has sent me as well, because Grace sent me a huge amount, bless her. And Sandra has as well. I don't think Sandra's in the stream yet, but with all of them, I'm kind of stroking them. I'm just like, oh, my pretties. So I'm still kind of going through that stage. I will use it, I promise. I've just got to find obviously the right project for it, but I haven't forgotten that you sent me some. I do appreciate it, Brittany. And your blanket's been used a lot, so ends up on the sofa a lot, being used on the sofa, and sometimes I use it to hide mess as well. And if it's really cold, it ends up on my bed. I sort of dated a guy 9 years younger, laugh out loud, but we ain't going to talk about that. A whole nother story, huh? Yarn is so therapeutic. Yep, totally agree with you there, Kathy. It's been a big blessing therapy-wise for me. Hubby is the same age as me, but currently sat beside me playing Marvel version of Street Fighter, so not really sure if... How old are you actually anyway, Sonia? I don't even know how old you are. I think you're older than me, aren't you? Oh, so you're the toy, are you, Lenny? Oh, Sonia, bless you. I'm sorry to hear that. Yeah. When I'm premenstrual, I have the same issue, Neddy. That's when it swings that way, if you get my drift. Without being too graphic. We've got a Switch and my husband plays it more than the kids. I think that's been a common theme just recently, hasn't it? I've not actually had a go on a Switch. I've seen them on YouTube a lot, but I've still got a Wii, so it goes to tell you how far behind I am. And my friend's got Kel's got an Xbox 360 still, so we can't afford the new consoles. So and the ones we've got still work. To be honest, I don't play the Wii that much anyway. My mum actually gave it was my mum's originally. She gave it to me. She's got an Xbox 360, I think it is as well, with a Kinect. Dairy doesn't bother me. I'm extremely lactose tolerant. Oh, that's good, Nerdy. I have IBS and I've also got a boy toy. Good for you, Nathan. I definitely don't have endometriosis. I think my cramps would be much worse. Well, having said that, I only get cramps at time of the month. So if you get bad period pain, it could still be a sign. I had terrible period pain when I was in my 20s, and that could have been an indicator back then. It can be misdiagnosed quite a lot. I'm still here. I've got you on the big screen, Karen, while I do. Oh no, not too close up, Nathan. Not sure how I feel about being on a big screen, but okay. With PTSD and people with PTSD abuse booze. Yeah. Well, I do have people in my life that have PTSD. I have undiagnosed. I have trauma, but I've never actually had mine formally diagnosed, and I can't be bothered to go through psychiatrists again because it's mental health services where I live are terrible. That's the polite version. So I don't want to, so I avoid. Well, that's fair enough. I'm sorry to hear you got PTSD. I know it's a very difficult illness to live with, and it's very underestimated, I think, is the easiest way of putting it. I couldn't drink while I was on my arthritis medication, so I gave up the medication. Oh, you see, if I gave up my meds my antidepressant, I wouldn't be the person you see before you now. I would be a blubbering, crying mess who would be incredibly negative and the polar opposite of the person that you've come to know. So I wouldn't even dare risk. My doctor a couple of years ago tried to persuade me to come off my medication, and I still get very low days. And I had a very long conversation with him about my history. I have had a suicide attempt in the past. That was when my marriage was breaking down and I was very unwell mentally at the time, but it wasn't properly diagnosed and I wasn't on the right medication. So, yeah, I can't, that's not an option for me. Booze doesn't really bother me anyway. I have had lots of people that drink quite heavily in my family, and it, not alcoholics, but it put me off. It's put me right off, to be honest. Don't get me wrong, I did my drinking phase, you know, when I was younger, going out pubbing and clubbing, but I've grown up and it just doesn't... I'm kind of, you know, people come home from work and they've got to have a glass of wine, and I don't understand that. Oh, generalised anxiety disorder, I'm with you. I think in America you have slightly different terminology to me. So yeah, mine probably would be diagnosed. I was just diagnosed as having anxiety. It was very severe at one point. I couldn't go outside of my home. My bedroom became my haven and my prison for a while when I was living with my mum. So even just going to the front door would send me into a panic attack. And I had to very gradually, you had to do what they call exposure to get myself outside of the house, into the garden, into the street, a little way down the road, eventually into town. I have a market twice a week in my town, and that's a huge trigger for me. I still struggle with it, but I do go into town when there is market. But so for instance, on the Wednesday before Christmas, I had to go and meet my friend who was down and dragging me out to Starbucks for a drink and have a look around the shops. And I didn't realise it was market day. I forgot, because obviously run up Christmas, I just lost track of my days. When I realised, I was in the car driving there and I struggled to not have a panic attack. So even now it's still tricky. So my anxiety has been very, very bad. And so for instance, and this is where my trauma comes in. I have trauma when it comes to needles and hospitals. So when they want to do a blood test, when they were just checking stuff at my last hospital appointment, I still haven't got the results of that yet, so I don't really know what they were checking for. But yeah, I nearly had a panic attack. I was sobbing and I was in a terrible state. I did play it down on the channel a little bit, but I was in a bad way. Due to my medication, I don't drink at all anymore. Been years since I had a good drink. Bless you, Sonia. Well, do you know what? Drink isn't everything. Oh, you're not on prescription. Okay, nerdy. So you're managing it just sort of through therapy kind of skills, are you? Deb doesn't drink alcohol either. I'm glad I'm not sort of alone on the non-drinking. It's nice to know there are other people. Yeah, the dog wants his breakfast, but the dog food is in the bedroom closet and my husband's still sleeping. Oh, okay. Ah, that's why you're getting stared out. Kelly says, I'm the same with my American yarn. I'm glad I'm not the only one, Kelly. You do sort of stroke it, don't you? My pretty. Look at it on the shelf, looking all pretty. Hi, Lina. What time is it there in Sweden? Are you? I can't remember if you're ahead or behind me. They take that long to mature. Are you 54, are you, Terry? I didn't realise. I thought you were about 50, actually. So you're weathering better than your age. Eve was 60. Oh, my goodness. Deb's 63. Wow. Oh, 52. Oh, there you go. That's not so bad then, Terry. Michelle's 38. So I'm sort of smack bang in the middle of you all, really, aren't I? I'm saving up for a TV and my husband is getting me a PS4, allegedly. Oh, cool. Horrendous cramps in my 20s, but I've had 2 C-sections and there wasn't any shenanigans. Oh my God. Oh, okay. Well, if you've had operations, then that would have confirmed it, wouldn't it? Am I in HD? I have no idea, Sarah. 49 inches. Oh, now you're bragging, Nathan. Might get 40 inches. We have 50 plus in the living room. Flipping heck, that's huge. I have a 55 inch. Do I win? Good grief, Joe. How big is your living room? We've only got a 32 inch, and that's quite big enough for us. Size doesn't matter and all that. I don't drink at all, and I wouldn't on my meds. Yeah, you're on quite a few meds, aren't you, Nathan? That's probably very sensible. Oh, that's good to hear, Sonia. I'm glad that it's helped you. No hormones for me since. Oh, bless you. Oh, so you've had problems too, Terry. Was that what you were referring to when you were talking about, was it last year or the year before? Me found out what caused the pains. My organs were all stuck together to my abdominal wall, so they had to separate it all. Did you have endometriosis then, Sonia? Because that's what happens with endo. It sticks all your organs together. Force myself to go out alone. Oh, good for you. You do have to push yourself to do it, don't you? Have to suffer through the hot flushes and so on. Oh, bless you. Yeah, see, I'm dreading that, Terry. That's the one thing. It's funny when, as women, you spend your whole childhood, sort of, desperate to have your periods, don't you? And then you get to sort of later in life, and then you're dreading the menopause. Crocheting definitely helps with depression. Yep, I completely agree with you, Terry. I couldn't agree. And anxiety, yeah. Couldn't agree with you more. It's definitely been one of my saviours. I have a hard time trying new things, especially alone. Yeah, me too, Cheryl. I'm exactly the same. I'm fine if I've got somebody with me, but send me somewhere on my own, I'm freaking out. I'm late, but saying hello. Hiya, how are you? Now, I don't know what your name is. Bear has no name. So tell me your name. Have to have iron injections. Oh, you're anemic. That's the one thing I've managed to avoid, but I've been taking iron supplements for a while just to avoid it. I'm ahead 1 hour. Oh, okay. Not too far ahead then. I've been on an ice yarn kick lately. Oh, ice yarns. Jana approved, wouldn't she, Kathy? My living room is tiny. The piggy's in the bedroom. Oh, okay. Fair enough. I don't have a TV. Wow. Do you not? Is that normal in Sweden? Nearly retired, caring for disabled hubby and crocheting away. Oh, bless you, Kathy. Well, kindred spirit is a carer. Kelly's a massive ice yarn fan. Yeah, we know, Kelly. I don't drink at all. Got fed up when I was a taxi driver and all the drunk cheating people. Oh, bless you. Yeah. I couldn't deal with drunk people in my car. I'm saving up for ice yarns, Kelly. Congratulations on retirement, Kathy. Me doing the same. Lots of... Oh, Sarah's 46. Oh, you're not far off same age as me then, Sarah. I think you will love it, Brittany. I only have one TV in the house, but I'm sick of it. Oh, really? Hot flashes is hell. I'm having them out. Oh, bless you. That's the thing I dread the most. And one of the things with my condition is I'm going to be put on hormone therapy, and I don't know if it'll be mimicking pregnancy or mimicking menopause. So that's going to be interesting. Not diagnosed, but to be honest, I think I do. They just never looked. Yeah. It's, I think, I'm not 100% sure, Sonia, but I think when you go through menopause, symptoms should ease. But if everything was stuck together, it does sound like endometriosis. I love ice yarns. I've got a few ice yarns have been sent. I think Kelly sent me some and Pearl sent me some as well. I don't mind them. Not my favourite yarn, I don't think, but I think it's personal preference, isn't it? Hate it. Yeah, oh, bless you. Oh, I really feel for you. They're so pretty. Never get used to it unless I stay up late. Bless you. Can't wait to get back on hormone tablets again. Well, if it helps you, that's, you know, it's got to be a good thing, isn't it? Brenda. Okay, I will try and remember that, Brenda. I have a shocking memory, but I will try and remember. You're welcome, Kathy. I'm going to go back on YouTube. I got bad mail. Did you, Eve? What happened? Oh, you got PCOS, Linny. I didn't realise that. Or did you tell me in the last stream? I don't know. My memory's shocking. I've got quite a few friends that got PCOS. It's a nasty condition. I have cysts as well. That is part of endometriosis, so that's not the same. I do kind of know where you're coming from. I can't wait for menopause. Oh, really? I'm kind of... I've got more reasons to want the menopause now than I did since I've been diagnosed, but I'm still kind of like... No, it's not natural at all not to have TV, but I haven't had one since 2004 and don't miss it at all. Well, that's interesting, isn't it? That you don't miss it. When do you think? I think if you're a crafter, you've got other stuff to distract you, haven't you?
YouTube.
Haven't tried ice yarn. Have you not, Terry? And we'll have to try and rectify that for you then. Do ice yarns have wool in it? I think it just depends on which one you get. Kelly, correct me if I'm wrong.
Hi, Kelly.
That's Kel. She's come and sat in the room. Have you tried it? Swept. No, I haven't. No, I haven't tried it. Deb, I think some ice yarns are acrylic or they're mixed fibres. I think it just depends on what you get. Nerdy's agreeing with me. Need to reset the count. Oh, router. Hubby can't get... Okay. Sonia, you're probably back been and gone by since I've read this. I'm a bit behind with the comments. They do all fibres. Okay. Ice yarn can be different fibre content. Okay, so I wasn't far off. Thank you, Nerdy. I will have to check the website. Ice has all kinds of yarn, Deb. Acrylic and wool blends and cotton and on and on. Kelly says, hi, Kel.
My real name's Kelly as well, but, you know, I like
Yeah, she doesn't like being called Kelly. She prefers Kel. Is ice yarn the one that comes from Turkey? It is, that's correct. It's the one that Jan shows a lot on her channel. And Kelly, who's on the stream here, I'm Yarn Inspired, she shows a lot of ice yarns as well. I think ice yarns, there's been a lot of it. Yes, Turkey. Schweppes swirls look beautiful. Yes, I agree with you, Terry, they do. I do not spell good, so I could not put down what I want. Don't worry about spelling. I'll try and figure it out. I'm not the world's best speller either, so don't worry. Haven't tried it though. No, me neither, Terry. If you do try it, let me know what it's like. Off to Turkey in April. I will have to leave room in my suitcase on the way back. I think you might need a whole suitcase, Joe. I love stonewashed. Oh, yeah.
I look after the puppy, Joe.
Did you hear that, Joe?
Might not get it back, but...
Okay, Lenny,
you know.
thanks for popping in and all that. Have a lovely New Year's Eve and Happy New Year to you. I don't know if they're online only or not. I'm not sure if that's right, Nerdy, or not. Can Kel take 4 cats too? That might be a problem with the birds. We do like cats,
Chip,
but
do you
4
want to,
might be a bit much to manage.
Do you want to play off the cats, Chip?
Oh, Kelly says she thinks it's online only, Joe. So there you go. You might be all right. Okay, Sarah. Thanks for stopping by. Happy New Year to you. Have a good evening. And UPS is so bad here. Oh, really? I must say the branch of UPS, Nerdy's agreeing as well, is when I was working as a PA, we used to have a lot of deliveries through UPS, and we would get tracking numbers and stuff, and I would track it to our local depot, which was literally a 5-minute drive from where I worked, and I would have to ring the depot and tell them that they needed to deliver the parcel because it would be on dry ice, because a lot of it was science stuff, so they would have like DNA samples and stuff. It was all agriculture, so it was agricultural samples, to do with sugar beet and things like that. No, it wasn't no animal stuff, I just want to be clear on that. So there would be stuff that would be sent, and if it was on dry ice, I always had to chase it because it would deteriorate and not be usable. I'm not impressed with UPS. I'm glad you're enjoying it, Eve. Yeah, it's good to chat sort of live. It's nice on the channel doing the videos and stuff, but it is nice to actually be able to interact with you. Happy New Year, Sarah. I must start my day. It's been fun. Happy New Year to all. Okay, Kathy, thank you for dropping in. Happy New Year to you. Did you hear about the Czech UPS loss? No. What happened there, Nathan? Puppy's disappeared back soon. Okay, Joe. It's probably getting up to mischief. I hope you haven't got something chewed up. So what happened with the UPS check, Nathan? I haven't heard anything about that. Has that been on the news or something?
Probably.
And I want to know, Mummy, are you in the stream or not? Say hello if you are. She might not be, but she was in the last one, so I'd like to know who's spying on me. UPS screwed up on yarn orders years ago. I was furious. Oh no, that's a pain, isn't it? And the trouble is, you end up on the phone or doing emails, and it can take days and weeks to sort something that should be really straightforward out. The worst issue I've had with a courier was my Herms, and I always panic a bit because Jan, if she's sending me a box, will quite often use my Herms, and we've never had a problem, thankfully, because I always worry. But 3 Christmases ago, my dad sent me 2 parcels with some food goodies and my Christmas card, which happened to have money in it. And one of the boxes had some wine in it. And I'll glad you're back, Sonia. Hi, Juliet. How are you? You've never had problems with UPS? Oh, you're lucky then, Kelly. I got one of the boxes, got delivered. They were both posted at the same time, 1 of 1, 2 of 2. And box 1 of 2 got destroyed. It wasn't lost, it wasn't damaged, it was destroyed. I mean, how do you destroy a box full of wine? That got nicked. I don't care what anybody says. My dad was furious, so we don't do it that way now. He orders food online for us because he helps us out. Just he gets us treat stuff basically that we wouldn't, perhaps be able to afford. And we work around presents and stuff another way, so we tend to use things like Amazon and stuff now because they're a bit better at sorting problems out. I left my parcel sitting in a park truck. I got my parcel way late. I bought a ton of yarn from Little Knits. Oh, sock yarn. Really? That's terrible. I don't know if I have. Have I commented on it, Eve? Ill in bed. Oh no. Pain in your tummy. Oh, Juliet. Hope you feel better soon. That's a naff way to be ending the year. Hope you feel better soon. You haven't got what Sian had, have you? I had a bit of an upset tummy on the run up to Christmas. Yeah, I don't blame you for being annoyed, actually. Yeah, DHL I've never had a problem with, so I'm completely with you on that one. They lost a cheque for $825,000. What? And offered the family $32 delivery refund. What? $825,000? Wow. My nose is stuffy. My kids shared their cold for us. Oh no, you hope you feel better too. Everyone's ill. It's only trouble this time of year, isn't it? Everybody's congregating and germs are getting passed around. Yeah, you read right. $825,000. Yeah. I mean, that's more money than most of us could even comprehend anyway. I bet they felt a bit more than faint, nerdy. Hope all the poorly chatters feel better soon. Yeah, me too. I hope it'll, if any of you are feeling poorly, I hope you feel better. Thanks. Had it since Wednesday. No idea what it is. Bless you. Have you actually been sick, or have you just got like really bad nausea? Because the bug I had really bad nausea. I struggled to eat. I had a parcel delivered once through my letterbox, even a photo to prove it, except it was not my door and the parcel would never fit in the letterbox. I complained and they sent the driver back. It's a bit like the Bible experience we've had, isn't it? You handed to resident, didn't knock on the door. Had to carry hundreds of dollars CAD to a bank once. I was so scared. Oh yeah, I've done those kind of deliveries. Not quite that amount of money, but when I've worked in shops and had to take stuff to the bank and businesses and stuff, yeah, a little bit scary. You always hope you don't get mugged. I think I follow you, Eve, though, don't I? I confuse people a lot because I've actually got 2 channels on YouTube, so I don't always comment on my Kazzalistic one. Actually, it was $846,000. What's even worse, Nathan? Mamma mia. Yeah, exactly. Yeah, I had to do a bank run for the hairdressers I worked at. It was terrifying. It is terrifying, isn't it? It's scary when you're carrying a lot of money. My driver said he didn't find the house. Well, there are 4 streets there, so... Well, they didn't... Yeah. I told my sister to check a front porch once as my home said they had left a parcel there. Her reply, we don't have a front porch. Laugh out loud. And my other channel is just called Karen Hales, but I don't upload to it. It's just what I tend to watch people on. So when I comment on your channel, Terry, that's the one that I tend to comment on. I'll explain. I'll just finish reading the comments and then I'll explain why that is. My biggest problem with shipping was when FedEx delivered an expensive telescope to a neighbour at a completely different address. Had to hunt it down and luckily my kids found it. We got it back. Well, that was lucky because they're expensive. Yeah, I don't upload to it. It's just one that I comment on, so it's a bit confusing. It was one that I had before I set up this channel that I'm on. Then DHL delivered 2.5 hours after the package came to Sweden. Madness, isn't it? Yeah, what happened was I set up, because obviously you set up an account, don't you? And I set it up as Karen Hales. So it's got my old profile picture, which I had on the channel a while back. DHL brings me tea from Canada with a quickness. Well, that's good. What I did is on the channel I originally had, which I wasn't uploading to, it was just for watching and commenting on. I follow a lot of YouTubers that are not craft related. So when I started my Kazzalistic one, which obviously is called Karen Hales as well, I set up a new one because I wanted a completely clear account where I haven't been commenting on stuff and try and keep it sort of a clean sort of crochet craft channel, so it wasn't getting mixed in with other stuff, so that I wouldn't miss people's videos. The problem with having done that is one of my favourite YouTube, there's 2 channels that I really love. One is the Angry Grandpa Show. He's unfortunately just recently passed away, which I'm very, very sad about. And his son has a channel called Kid Behind a Camera. And they're daily vloggers. And so obviously he's in a terrible state at the minute because he's just lost his dad. So it's quite sad to watch at the minute. But I really enjoy watching them. They make me laugh. They infuriate me and every other emotion. And it's really good fun to watch. So I forget. I'd also found a lot of craft channels before I started my channel up. So I'd sort of go through my whole list, which would be hundreds and hundreds of channels. I didn't transfer them all over, which I think perhaps I should have done. So quite often I comment on my other channel, which I don't upload to, and it does seem to be confusing people. So I'm a little bit not quite sure what to do, because there are some channels that don't upload very often. So people like Amy Gibson, she used to be one of the craft channels I used to watch, but I know Amy hasn't been very well, and so she hasn't uploaded for quite a while. So there's people like her. I think I have now put her on my Kazzalistic one, but you know, I've got to make sure everything's transferred over before I can, you know. I was trying to keep the channel clean, but I kind of regret it now because I've basically got two accounts. So if I do comment with a different picture, you'll still see it's me, but that's why it just gets confusing. Hey Willie! Yeah, you made it. Well done. It's good to see you. How are you? I haven't spoken to you for ages. I've not been on YouTube. Oh, sorry, I have not been on YouTube for about 6 months. Let's go to back up. What happened, Eve? I must have missed something. I'm pretty sure that I am subscribed to you. What's happened to Amy's brother Barry? I have no idea, Nathan. Do you know anything? Why? Because he hasn't put up anything for a long while, so I don't know if it's just because he's working. Juliet says she's missed your videos, Eve. Sonia's asking why you're scared. Michelle's the same. Have you had some nasty comments as well then, Michelle? Yeah, have a gallon of coffee. Yay, good for you. That'll keep you going. I mean, the only thing I will say, if it's been nasty comments, it is part of YouTube. You have to remember there are a lot of kids on YouTube and there are some nasty adults as well. Doing good, but it's cold down here in southern USA. Oh, bless you. Yeah, I bet it's chilly. I know it gets a lot colder than it does here in the UK. But I'm glad you're doing well. Does anyone know if Grace, GB Maltese, is doing okay? I haven't seen any videos from her in a while. Now, she did comment on something on my Instagram a few days ago. She's been very, very busy. I think she's been helping out with teaching and stuff. So, as she put it, life has got in the way. So, she's okay. I think she's just been really busy from what I understand. Unless anyone knows any different, but that's certainly what she intimated to me the other day. I miss watching her. I do love watching Grace. She's such a sweetheart. You have to have a thick skin for YouTube. Absolutely you do. And that's something that I've had to learn. My channel's been going for quite a while now. Now people like Deb were with me right from the beginning. And so she'll be able to vouch for me with this. You're welcome. So for me, my experience was I started the channel. I've got a few subscribers, about 10 or 20. Took a long time. Took a really long time to get to 100. It's getting your name out there is really, really difficult. Nope, just a crappy year. I'm tough as old boots. Bad comments won't hurt me. Well, I'm sorry to hear you've had a crappy year, but I'm glad that the comments don't affect you, Michelle, because it's very easy to let it get to you if you don't watch yourself. Yeah, so I struggled to get my channel going. I had a really nasty comment. I'm not even sure that it was a troll the first time, and it really knocked my confidence. I was in quite a sensitive place with my mental health as well, so that was difficult. And I actually stopped doing YouTube for, I think it was either 4 or 6 months, something like that. How cold is it, Willie? It's 9 below here in northern Michigan, Deb says. So I did stop for a while. And then I got to the point where I'd made quite a lot of friends because I've been commenting on people's videos. So I've made friends with Kelly. I'm Yarn Inspired. I made friends with Jan because I'd won her competition that she held a couple of years ago. So through that, I got to know Jan. I got to know Sean. And Sean did... Sean and Kelly really, and Jan, they all kind of helped me network a little bit. So... Okay, so you've had bad comments, have you, Eve? What did they say to you? And I found that networking and commenting on other people's videos, people will start, if you do it regularly, people start to recognise your name, and then you build up a support network. So, you know, obviously part of my network now is Terry and Michelle, and there's all, you know, there's a huge list of people that both upload and obviously just watch. So people like Nathan doesn't upload, but he watches me all the time. I've got to know him. We're now friends, which is lovely. Sorry, I'm going to just see what Sonia says. It's taken me just under a year to get over 100. I have 16,000 views and I've been really lucky with my comments. Almost all are good. The rest I ignore. That's really good, Sonia. The first year is really tough. Not that cold, Deb, but 24 here now. And it's in the teens last night. Cool. Very bad things about you. What, personally? I have a thing that blocks risky commenters or something. Problem is it blocks normal people too. Right. Nerdy makes... Okay. Well, I'm sorry to hear that, Eve. First and foremost, I won't use the word that I want to use, but they're not nice people. I'm not going to use an expletive because I don't want to get copyrighted or flagged up for anything. I need to upload more regularly. Just been trying it out. Yeah, it takes a while to get in your groove liner anyway. I find it's taken me a long while to kind of find where I'm comfortable with YouTube. Yeah, I'm not going to repeat what Nerdy said, but that's basically what I was thinking. I got to the point with my channel after I had the break. I actually thought, do you know what? And I am going to do what I want to do, what makes me happy, in the hope that it's going to make some people... I mean, you know, Deb is one of my longest... I know I mention her quite a lot, but she's been so supportive to me right from the start, and I've been so incredibly grateful for that encouragement. You're welcome, Nathan. You're thinking it, okay? People are just rude. And are just showing you how bad they are. You're a fab person, just rise above them. I absolutely agree, Sonia. Some people are just jealous idiots and they show what they're like, but the kinds of comments are right. Absolutely agree, Kelly. That is, I have found that is jealousy is a lot of it. All I have on mine is my birdies, too shy to put myself on the air. Well, it takes time. It's taken me a long while to get comfortable being on camera. It is a little bit weird. You're not used to seeing yourself back and hearing yourself back. People that make rude remarks are trying to elevate themselves. Yep, totally agree. I just got to the point with mine. Oh, thanks, thanks, Willie. I'm glad you like it. Lashing out due to feelings of inadequacies. Yep, exactly. Totally agree. I just got to the point where I thought, why am I letting a couple of nasty people who clearly have nothing better to do with their lives... Are you not, Kelly? You're still not comfortable with it? I'm not too bad now, actually. I've kind of got used to it. But I'm doing 2 weeks, so I probably... I've been forcing myself to do, like... Because you had a little break as well, didn't you? So that you probably haven't to get back in the swing. Do ya? I just think, well, my first thought is I'm just talking to a camera. Get past the nerves and then go and then sort of, you know, think about all my friends that are watching me. I don't sort of think about the number of people. I just think about people like you guys that I interact with. Just tell them we'll bless your little heart. Yeah, exactly. There you go. There you go, Kelly. Sonia says you don't seem it. You seem very natural. There you go. And I agree with her. Who does? Me or Kelly or both? Deb. Yeah, so I just got to a point where I thought, why am I letting nasty people stop me? So I decided to try again. And thanks to people like Kelly and Sean and Jan, and there's too many people to mention really, encouraging me, I got past it. And the trouble with YouTube is there will always be nasty people. Everyone. Okay, Deb, that's cool. And I agree with you, Michelle. She is a natural. She just doesn't realise it. Yeah, I just thought, why am I letting people stop me from doing something that I enjoy? So I carried on. Now you all know that I had one serious troll, and Sean really did come to my defence, and so did my friend Kel. Was a few, I think Amy did as well, came to my defence and put them in their place. And I've actually stopped them from being able to comment on my channel, which is something you can do. I have had one negative comment since the last trial, and it was kind of a trolly comment, but not. I think it was just somebody that was generally peed off. I find, and this is something if you don't do tutorials, I know Jan has a lot of issues with this, is I do get a lot of criticism for not doing tutorials because I'm doing one finished thing a week. I've got the header and it can be misconstrued if you don't read the about section of my channel, which clearly says I'm not a tutorial channel. I get a lot of criticism for that. But you know, part of the reason why I started saying at the end of my videos, stay true to yourself, is for that very reason, is to not let people tell me what I can and can't do on my own channel. You know, obviously I do stuff for everybody. I'm doing, you know, if people make suggestions, make requests, you know, I do see it as all our channel, but at the same time, it's my channel. If that makes, does that make sense? And I'm not going to let people bully me on my channel. So one of the things that I've done when I've had bad comments, so the troll, for instance, said that I was infantile. Okay, that's their opinion. I don't agree with it. And so I've blocked that word on my channel. You can block words. So if they've said something specific about you, Eve, you can block words on your channel in the comment section so people can't say certain things. So if it's something specific that they've said, you can do that to protect yourself, and that is something that I have done. I've blocked swear words from my channel, as many as I could think of. I'm sure there's many that I haven't thought of. Things like infantile, pointless, stuff like that, where people have just been nasty for no reason. I've blocked those words, and you can block those people from your channel as well. So I've only blocked the one troll. Is all I've actually ever had to block on my channel. But you do have that option as well. You've got to remember it's your channel and you are in control of it, and you don't have to put up with that. You can also report them to YouTube as well. So don't forget that that's an option. Terry says, I still stumble over my words, being nervous while filming. I really can speak. Do you know what, Terry? You don't come across as nervous to me. I've actually thought how much more confident. Your first one, obviously, you were. But I actually think you look quite confident now. I need to put up a new video myself. It's been some time since my last... Yeah, it has, Willie. You need to pull your finger out. You need to put something new up. I like watching your adventures. Now I know people out there who like me. I will go back on. Thank you so much to you all. I'm glad to hear that, Eve. You need to remember that our community is generally, on the whole, is full of really lovely people, and there are more nice people in the world than there are nasty, and it's important to remember that, and that's something that this channel has absolutely taught me. You know, you've only got to look at how many people have, and I'm not doing this to brag, but have sent me yarn out of their own stash, you know, paid for postage and been so incredibly kind. Now, if I hadn't have kept going with the channel, that wouldn't have happened. The friendships I've got with you guys wouldn't have happened. You've got to remember the positive stuff, and our community is on the whole very generous, very kind and very loving and very supportive. So just keep that in mind when you get nasty comments, and remember to block them. I thank people for their nasty comments, kill them and kindness and all that. Yep, that's what I did with my last comment. I thanked them for their opinion and said I'd take it on board, and they never came back to me, so that shut them up. So I've definitely learned new skills doing this, which is a good thing. I don't show my safe face. Well, yeah, I totally understand for not showing your face. It's not for everybody. There are a lot of YouTubers, particularly in the craft community, that do just show their hands. Christina's Creations, which is a channel I mentioned quite a long time ago. I think it's her. Is it her? I don't know. It might not be. I can't remember. But there's one of the ones that I've recommended that was helping to try and get started. She just shows her hands. She's got beautiful nails, actually. I still panic when I film, laugh out. Do you, Juliet? Well, you hide it well, to be fair. And I do really enjoy watching you. I think you've actually got better, Juliet. You're a bit like me. You don't because I used to and a lot. I still do it a bit, but I've found that your flow has got a lot better, actually. I get more nervous going to yarn. Well, I don't go to a yarn club, so you're doing better than me, Nerdy. No, you're not the only one, Terry. I still sometimes get nervous when I record, because I always have that thing of, is anybody going to be interested in this? Because I try and do such a variety of stuff. I find that clothes do really well. People are really interested in seeing clothing. But it takes such a long time to make stuff like that. You know, I can't bang it out in a couple of days. It's just not going to happen. So it's things like the unicorn blanket have done really well as well. It's very hard to know what's going to... Sometimes I've done things where I don't think something's going to do very well, and then it, you know, I might get 5,000 views over a period of a few months, not straight away. I'm not like Jam. It takes a long while for my views to go up. But hi Yvonne, when did you sneak in? Did I miss you? Just love watching you all. You're all what have kept me going this past year. Oh, well, I'm glad it's helped, Yvonne. That's really nice to know. I've had so many people say stuff like that to me, and I've actually realised that as much as the channel helps me and my mental health and my loneliness, that it's helped a lot of you guys as well. So it's really nice to get that kind of feedback. I really appreciate that. Redirect to a tutorial channel. Yeah, I do. I sort of point out there's Jada and Stitches and Bob Wilson 123 and so on and so on. I did in my last stream have one lady, I think her name was Joy, I think, asked if I could do some tutorials. The only thing I might do is I might do just the basics, because just recently I've had quite a lot of new baby crocheters come onto the channel. But if I did that, it would just be, you know, chain, single crochet, double crochet, treble crochet, that kind of thing. I'm not going to do convoluted patterns. It takes too long to record. I have to do my own patterns. And having done a pattern last year, it took me about a month from beginning to getting it tested and getting the pattern written and checked and up. And Revelry's not the easiest one to upload to either. So I just don't have the time to do that. I watch a lot of you that are commenting about nerves, and you all do great. I couldn't do it. Ah, you could, Joe. You just got to put a camera in front of you and gabble. That's all I do. I'm already subscribed to you. There's Bethinks one. Happy Berry Crochet. Yep, you're right. I don't know if I've done any Bethinks ones, but I have done Happy Berry Crochet ones. My the Christmas tree banner that I have above the sofa in my videos at Christmas, that was Happy Berry. You go, girl, it's your channel. It's a craft extension of you, so do what you want. Absolutely. That's exactly where I'm at, Kelly. Completely agree with you. Thank you. There's probably 100 more. Yeah, absolutely, Nerdy. Probably is. There's so many big tutorial ones. I'm always stumbling across new ones. Creative Grandma is one that I've come across recently. She does stitches and patterns and loads of giveaways. If you like your giveaway, she's a good one for that as well. Totally hear you on the negative comments on my last video. Someone put child abuse in the comments. Like, seriously? Everyone who watches me and knows me, I don't abuse. What? Why did they say that, Brittany? One thing I will say, Brittany, because it's easier to say it while we're live. Since you've switched to, I think you've changed your phone, haven't you? It's a lot easier to hear you, because I used to have to put you through a speaker when you were on your old phone. I actually think the quality's got better since you've swapped. I have blocked spammers, as I got so many at first, but now I seem to be clear of them. Well, that's good, Sonia. That's a good thing. YouTube is oversaturated in knitting and crochet tutorials. Exactly. And that's why I've been trying to do something different. You know, I started off doing, you know, what everyone else was doing with the, you know, works in progress and finished things and a bit of a mix, which I love. And I'm not criticising anyone that does that. But I wanted to do something a little bit different, which is why I then started doing one finished thing a week. And then Christmas last year, when I was doing the nativity, I needed to do 2 a week in order to get it finished. And what I found was, by doing 2 uploads a week, it helped my algorithm a lot more, and that's actually one of the things that's helped my channel grow. That's why I started doing 2, and actually it's challenged me as a crocheter. It's made me try new things. So for my craft journey, it's actually helped me. And by doing a finished thing, I'm doing something slightly different to everyone else. I just wanted to be the same but different. If that's, you know, I'm not criticising anybody. I love all you guys, and you know I watch you all. So I just wanted to do something that was just a little bit different. Brittany, you're great with your kids on video. Ignore that horrible person. I completely agree, Kelly. I often mix my words, but so far I've been really lucky. No one's commented about it. Well, to be quite honest with you, Sonia, I haven't noticed. And to be perfectly honest, I do that too. And nobody's pulled me up on it. So I like watching you, Terry. You're very clear and I love seeing what you're up to. I absolutely agree. Actually, there are some patterns that Terry's shared, because she does so many patterns each week that she shares. There are quite a few that I've downloaded which I plan to do. One of them was the cockatiel one that you did, Terry, which I think I said to you at the time that I was going to do, which is still on my to-do list, obviously, because I've got cockatiels, got a little soft spot. There's a shawl, I can't remember the name of it, but a shawl that Terry did very, very recently as well that I've downloaded. Yep, I agree, Juliet. I've met so many friends on here. I love it. Yeah, me too, Terry. I think that's been the greatest thing. It is the friendships more than anything else. It's not about the yarn or, you know, the hooks, although that's, you know, we all love that, but it is about the friendships. I've been so very grateful for it. I was quite isolated. I'd lost a lot of friends when I became a carer because I can't go out. I can't afford to go out for meals and things like that. So I've had a lot of friends that just don't bother with me. And you guys have been my salvation in a lot of ways. I have people I can interact with on a regular basis that have cheered me on through good and bad. And that's why I'm pretty honest about where I'm at in my life, because we're all human beings and we all, you know, we all go through stuff, don't we? I just subscribed to you, Brittany, as I've not come across you before. Have you not, Sonia? Because I have mentioned her on my channel before, but perhaps I don't know if you were on YouTube at that point. I've probably 100 online acquaintances, but very few actual friends. Yeah, well, you know, add us on Facebook, Nerdy. Get to know us. Then you'll get to know us better. A lot of my online friends started off as acquaintances, but are now really good friends. And my only regret is that I haven't been able to meet you all in real life. You're welcome, Juliet. Hi, Paige. Sorry, I'm a little bit behind on the comments. Nice to see you. I'm glad to see you made it. Happy New Year to you. I'm living on a narrowboat. Are you, Eve? Oh, wow. One of my exes, his brother, who has since sadly passed away, he lived on a narrowboat for a while, so we used to go visit on him on the boat. His was very basic one. He was kind of trying to do it up, but it's a lovely way to live. I don't know that I could deal with the lack of space, but it's a lovely way of life. I have been on a holiday. My dad used to be a scout leader, and he did a scout trip. And we had 3 narrow boats, and we went up the Grand Union Canal, which was interesting. I was terrified of the locks, mind you, the canals. I can't swim very well, so it's a bit scary for me. My only friends are all online, so they do count a lot to some of us. Yeah. A lot of my friends are online, and actually have been some of the most supportive people. I have interactions with them a lot. I just love the amigurumis that everyone makes. I'm glad you enjoy them, Deb. Sometimes I worry with it. My amigurumis don't tend to do so well on views. I seem to get about 200 max on average views, whereas other stuff sometimes I can get, you know, several hundred or even 1,000. I'm not quite sure why they don't do quite so well. I know some people like Jan, it's just not for them. And I know Ian, who's in the stream at the minute, he's said to me that he likes watching the amigurumis, but he wouldn't make them. So I understand it's not for everybody. But it's interesting, so it's good to know that you do enjoy watching it. It was really... And it really was pink. In Skipton. Oh, are you? I didn't realise that. Somewhere I've never been. My yarny friends get me a lot more than my physical friends. Don't have any yarny friends here. I'm exactly the same, Terry. Yeah, completely agree. I'm very lucky that my friend that I look after is very patient with it. She's shown an interest in crochet, so she's actually learned a lot watching me. Appreciates how long it takes to make things, particularly blankets and things. So she's learned a lot by watching me day by day. And I'm quite lucky that my mum and my grandma were both crafty people. So my mum is primarily a knitter, although she has actually been learning to crochet I show her an odd stitch every now and then, and she will you know, make stuff. She's made a blanket for the dogs. The only thing she didn't know about was doing the chains in corners. You know, to put extra stitches in the corners so they kind of round off. But that was because I hadn't shown her that, so that wasn't her fault. But she did a really good job. So I'm quite lucky that the two people that are closest in my life actually, you know, are interested, at least. But yeah, most of my online friends are the ones that really get me. You have to have a fancy recording set up to do tutorials. Well, yes and no. I know a lot of the ladies that do it like have special brackets and stuff that their husbands have made them and stuff. I have an idea of how I could do mine, but because I've got a tripod, and we've got a UV light in Spike's tank, so we have to buy sand to obviously clean him out. So I'm thinking I might stand the tripod like that and put the sand bag over the end of the tripod so that then the camera's pointing downwards. I'd also have the UV light from the tank, but I need to try it out, so I don't know if it's actually going to work. But so it just depends. It depends what your home setup is or how difficult. I think things are as difficult as you make them. Yeah, I keep wondering Sarah, what do you keep retracting your comments on? Keep wondering what she's saying as well. Basics is how I started my channel, and they are definitely needed, Karen, as some of them are my highest view videos. That's useful to know, Sonia. Thanks for that. Brittany has subscribed back for Sonia. That's good to know. So there's a link up that's happened today, so that's all a good thing. So it's worth doing the stream. I have a knitting club I go to once a month that has been infiltrated by hookers. Gotta love a hooker. I'm making lots of acquaintances. Well, that's where friendships start. There was a lady that I used to work with many years ago when I worked in a solicitor's office. And she used to say to me, there's no such thing as a stranger, it's just a friend you haven't made yet. And as I've got older, I've actually seen the value in what she used to say to me. And I really do like that saying, because, well, you guys were strangers to me 3 years ago, but you're all my friends now. So, right, I've lost where I'm at. Been lovely joining you all again. Have to sort laptop out to make sure it's ready for husband to use for disco tonight. Okay, Joe, I don't even know if you're still here, but Happy New Year to you as well. Yeah, Randy's really good. I think she's put a video up over the last 24 hours. I haven't watched that one yet. Yeah, no, Randy's very, very good. Yeah, she does do a lot of Amis, you're right. People, non-yarny people seem to like the critters I make more than the hats or garments. I think I'm going back to making them after I finish the sock. That's interesting, Brenda? Yeah, it was Brenda, wasn't it? I have a tripod, but my DSLR is old and non-video. Oh, okay. It does depend on the camera. I do want to upgrade my camera this year, but of course it's a huge investment. I just use a point and shoot. I don't use anything fancy. I try and make sure it records in MP4 so that YouTube likes it, so it's easy to upload. Am I subscribed to you, Nerdy? I'm not sure if I am. I must check that when I get off stream. I keep getting interrupted by the phone, so I listen with one ear. Oh dear. That's annoying, isn't it? I'm so happy the knitting club has crochet so I can crochet too. I knit and crochet, but sometimes I want to do one more than the other. Yeah, well, a lot of people are what we call bi-stitchual, aren't they? I can knit, but I'm a very awkward knitter. I don't hold the yarn and stuff properly. Kelly, I have to say, I've been amazed in such a short space of time how much your knitting has come on. I've been so impressed. I mean, some of the knitted garments you've been wearing, your jumpers and stuff, I've looked at them and they just look shop brought to me. So she's done really, really well. My knitting is nowhere near that standard. I struggle even to get my tension even, let alone anything else. I have a have a cheap digicam that's HD. I think my camera's HD, I think. I'm not very good. See, my brother is a YouTuber and he does all the technical stuff like reviews cameras, and he does a lot of computer build stuff. It's all straight over my head. So I need to pick my brother's brains really and see if he can recommend a camera when I upgrade. Oh, you got another subby nerdy. Oh, did I? Oh, good. I am subbed then, that's good. I'm glad. I've subscribed to a bunch of you now, I hope. I have not missed any of you. Yay! That's good. Learn continental, German style. Yeah, Zoe, 24 Karat Crochet, she talks about continental knitting. It is in that Bible book that I got, the Knitting and Crochet Bible. So I want to have a read through that, so I've got the premise a bit more. So, but I did watch something that Zoe put up. Oh, it was sometime this year, which showed her doing continental knitting, and I did think, oh, that might be a better way of learning for me. Please, can you ask people to... You put substitute. Do you mean sub to you? Subscribe to you, Eve? Can everyone please subscribe to Little Knit Eve, please? Yes, Jan has said that to you, hasn't she, Kelly? And I completely agree with her. Your knitting is just amazing. You should be very proud of yourself. Just finished knitting a robot. Oh, have you, Juliet? You haven't shown that on the channel yet, though, have you? Mind you, you've probably been too ill to do it, haven't you? Yep, see, Brittany's saying you're amazing, Kelly. I tend to use continental style when doing colour work, so I do both hands, one colour per hand. Okay. Deb says, Robot Juliet, how awesome. Yep, that does sound awesome. I'm quite looking forward to seeing that one. That's something I haven't done on my channel, actually. Good morning, Sandra. It's 8 AM in Seattle. I just turned on YouTube and saw you were there. Yay! It's good to see you here. I've been on for a couple of hours. Oh, Cheryl subscribed to you, Eve. Nerdy says done. I started knitting before I started crochet. I did learn to knit as a child, and I did learn to crochet, but I forgot both basically, so I've kind of having to relearn, and I think that's why I'm struggling with the knitting a bit. I can do sort of knit and purl, but that's it. But I'm really awkward with the needles. I let go of the needles at points, and then I get stitches drop off, and it's just a complete nightmare. I knit German style, so crochet just made sense. Yeah. I crochet very weird, actually. I'll show you in a second. I'm just going to finish drinking my tea and then I'll show you. No, not yet. I'll show you in the next video. Okay, Juliet. Cool. I look forward to that then. I go through phases of knit and crochet. I have noticed that, Kelly. But I think that's normal, though, because I think you just get bored if you do the same thing over and over. I love knitting socks. That's something I haven't done. Now Zoe's sent me double-pointed needles. I'm going to have to start improving my knitting skills. I always debate whether to do I have done one knitting video on the channel, but I do debate whether to do knitting stuff, because I did have somebody say to me that she really enjoyed my channel because I hadn't diversified into knitting, and there's one lady who's called Queen Jar Boutique who started her channel around about the same time as mine, but because I had a break, her channel is slightly bigger than mine now. She's about, I think about 2,000 she's just hit, so she's just very, very slightly ahead of me. That's primarily because I had a break. But she's now she's making her own yarn and selling it, and all, you know, she's done a lot of stuff. She's got an Etsy shop, and she's diversified more into knitting than crochet. So I find I don't watch her as much, because I'm more interested in the crochet. So I'm kind of conscious that, you know, about diversifying too much. I might do the odd knitting one, but I just wouldn't, I kind of feel like I should keep it crochet. Plus I know more about crochet anyway. I'm sort of be talking out me butt a little bit if I was talking about knitting. I've tried knitting both ways, found that English style gives my finger that the yarn runs over a break from the yarn after crochet. Okay. Yvonne's subscribed to you, Eve. Yeah, I'm the same, Eve. I would like to make socks. I'm actually thinking what I'm going to do is probably crochet some socks to start with, so that I just get the principle of how they're constructed before I would go on to knitting. I made one pair of socks, never again. I've had 4 needles, got me in a twist. That's the only thing I was worried about. When Zoe offered them to me, I was a bit like, well, I would like to try. I just don't know how good I'm going to be, because I'm a bit clumsy at the best of times. Cheryl says, I have 4 subscribers. I might have to do videos. At least one to say hello. Yes. Do some videos. Come and join us. It's good fun. Except when you get nasty comments, but we've talked about that already. So, the circular needle sock knitting. Yes, I think that's what Zoe does, isn't it? From what she said. Everyone goes on about magic looping knitting, and I'm completely lost. I know what it is in crochet, but that's about my limit. Yes, they do. They do crochet socks. That's something that I'm thinking about possibly doing on the channel this year. Try the 9-inch circular needles. Okay, I have got some circulars, so I might try that. I love knitting socks. I've done double pointed and circular needles. I'm not sure which I like more. Okay, that's interesting. Magic loop method is now my favourite. See, I need to look up in my Bible what that is. I don't really like 9 inches. Where are we going with this conversation now? Don't start Nathan off, because he'll run with that one. Nathan says, I've just subscribed to you all, so there you go. If I go back on, you should too. Yep. Eve, you've got to do it, and let me know when you do it so I can give you a channel shout out, because I like helping channels that are just starting, because I struggled so much to get going, and you know, if it wasn't for Kelly and Sean and Jan and people like that, my channel would never have grown. I know that Denise, which is what's she called now, Dear Designs, she actually in her video that she put up, which I think was her last one for the year, she actually said that channel shout outs from people like me and Jan and other people actually helped her channel grow. So I like trying to help other channels grow, because you know, we're all here for the same thing. We want to share what we love, don't we? So I do try and help new channels as much as I can. Plus people like having new channels to watch, so you know, it's win-win for all of us, isn't it? I knit socks all the time. Do you? That's it. Oh. Do you enjoy doing it then, Lina? It's not for everyone. Yeah, I do agree with you, Kelly. Nathan, behave. I'm not going to read what you put. Getting naughty symbols appear. Today, innit? I can't say that word, but knee socks. Knee socks. Do you know what? You can get some really pretty knee socks. I did find a crochet pattern and I was going to do it, but I've put it away somewhere and I can't find it now. No comment, Brittany. Trying to keep it a clean channel, you naughty people. It's like Zoe does. It's just a long circular needle. I don't have to worry about dropping double pointed needles. Okay, so is the general consensus that circular is easier than double pointed with socks? You really helped my channel, Karen. You doubled my subs almost overnight, so thank you very much. Oh, you're welcome, Sonia. I'm glad that it helped. Because it's very disheartening when you might get, you know, 1 sub a month and you're working really hard to try and make an interesting channel. I know I'm pretty sure I did a channel shout out for you as well, didn't I, Terry? I think that helped your channel as well, didn't it? I haven't come across those DPNs, Nerdy. I'm trying to think what the circular needles are I've got. I know they're Knit Pro ones, but I can't remember off. That's such a bad memory. I love it. I make 100 Converse socks in 2 years. Wow. 100 socks in 2 years. Oh, that's impressive. Socks is the only reason you want to knit. Yeah, that's... I think for me that would be like a huge goal. I don't know whether to make it my craft goal for this year. I'm not sure if I'm feeling brave this year or whether I'll do it for the following year, but... Yeah, 100, you heard right, Nerdy. Yeah, I agree, Kelly. That is a lot. That's very impressive. So Nody says she finds DPNs really easy. So it's interesting. I guess it's like everything. It's personal preference, isn't it? The only problem is I love the knee socks. So it takes a long time to knit. Yeah. I don't know how long it would take to do a crochet version of them though, Sonia. I would think that would probably be slightly quicker, maybe. Depends how quickly you crochet, I suppose. Puts food on the table. So you sell them, do you, Lina? My channel is growing at a snail's pace. I don't know what I'm doing wrong. I'm not monetized, nor do I want to be. Any tips, please? Biggest tip I can give you, Juliet, is upload regularly. Try and have a schedule if you're able to. So even if you're only doing once a fortnight, say, you know, that you'll be uploading on a Friday or a Saturday or whatever day you choose. That helps, so people know when to look for you. I've actually found doing more regular uploads, the YouTube algorithm likes it. So with that, because it's a computer thing, the algorithm, the more you upload, the more YouTube likes it, the more YouTube will promote your videos on other people's videos. So when you're watching, say, on a tablet, for instance, you'll get down the side, and you'll get all the little suggested videos, don't you? So I think that a lot of my subscribers have come that way. Channel shout outs. If you want me to do another channel shout out, I'm very happy to do that. I can speak to you in, you know, on Facebook or Instagram, or what are you on? I can't remember if I've got you on Facebook, Juliet, or not. But I can speak to you privately, and we can sort out, you know, what you're going to be doing over the year, and I can give you a promotion. I've got no problems doing that. I like helping you guys out, so, you know, everyone's helped me. So but upload regularly, interact with people in the comments is really important. I've made a lot of friendships through that. I do try and make a point of replying to all comments. I have stumbled on one lady who I couldn't reply to, even though I tried this week. So that's something I've got to try and remember to mention in my next video, if I remember. If I remember. But yeah, regular uploads, interact with people on your channel, encourage people, give other people shout outs as well, Juliet. And you know, it is just a case of keep plugging away. It took me a long while, because what sub count are you at, Juliet? You're about, are you 200 or something, or are you more than that now? I've kind of lost track where you're at. But it took me, the first 300 was a real slog, and then when I got past 200, went from 2 to 300 a bit quicker, and then gradually, the more subs you get and the more regularly you upload, you'll just suddenly find the channel will do that. And that's what's happened with my channel just recently. Just had to wrap my head around how it's a little circle tube made along on yeah, laid on a long cord. Yeah, I think that's what I'm kind of trying to get my head around, Brenda. Does anyone watch Ange from Yarn and Yarns? I haven't heard of that channel, Nathan. What does she do? Is she a knitter or a crochet? I don't think I've come across that one. And now I hope the others can give me some more work. Yes, I hope you get lots of work, and it keeps you going, Lina. Are they nerdy? I've got to do it, have I? It might take me all year to actually knit them. The only thing that worries me is that I will knit one and then get bored. I get bored very quickly, hence why I make 2 things a week, because my concentration span isn't very good. That's the only thing that worries me about doing socks. Is it, Nathan? I don't know. I can't hear any rain here. I think we were right at the minute. It's been very overcast the last few days. We did have a lot of rain on Friday. I had to go out and it was pouring. So do you manage to live off it, Lina? I'm just kind of interested. You know, I have had people say, oh, do I do commissions and stuff? And I don't, because it would interfere with my carer's money, because I'd have to declare it. So for that reason, I don't. But plus, I like doing it for charity. But I'm interested to see whether you're able to support yourself. Pink, beg people to sub. Yeah. That's a good point, Nerdy. Actually, Juliet, the other thing is ask. I don't do it in every video, but every now and then you'll see me say, don't forget to like and subscribe this video if you want to see me, you know, see more content from me. Don't forget to press the little bell so it notifies you whenever I'm live or whenever I put video up. It is important to do that. There is no harm in self-promotion. Sometimes people don't think to subscribe. They might have enjoyed your video and just as soon as you hit the end of the video just click off and go elsewhere. So sometimes you actually have to remind them. That does help. And the other thing which I forgot to say is what they call end screens. I don't know if you use a laptop to upload or not, but if you do, when you upload, one of your options is end screens and annotations, and the end screens is where I put my last. I always do the video I had up before. You can do the popular ones, but I always tend to promote the one before, just because that's my personal preference. And I always put the little circle with my well, it's my face, but obviously my channel logo icon, and you can press on that and that takes you to my channel and makes you, and you can then subscribe. So that's another good tip to do as well, to get people to subscribe. I've never crocheted socks before, so I'll give it a shot. I think me and you could do a collab there, Sonia. Maybe. Don't know how we go about it because we're in different places, but that is something that I would like to start doing on the channel, is collabing. The one person I probably could collab with and be in the same room as is Katrina's Creations, because she's only about an hour away from me. So I hope I will sell a lot of the others. Well, I hope so, Lionel. I hope you manage to make lots of sales. Money's growing slowly, but getting there. Just keep going. Yeah. Good advice, Sonia. That's absolutely. Casey Neistat, who's a massive YouTuber, he put a video up, and it was something my brother actually shared, one of his Casey Neistat's video on his personal Facebook. Obviously, being my brother, I saw it. And the advice for YouTube, and this was the key thing that I took away from it, was just keep uploading. Doesn't matter if, you know, people don't like your content to start with. It's a learning curve. If you look at my first few videos, I had a really naff camera. The sound quality was rubbish. I didn't know how to start or end my videos. I used to stumble about. And then it's practice makes perfect. Just keep uploading. You will get better. Your equipment will get better over time, and you'll get in the groove of it, and people will sub you for you. So that's another good piece of advice. You get them cheaper on eBay. I never think to look on eBay for needles and hooks. Actually, I really should. You need to give me some lessons, Nerdy, if you're a bargain hunter. I'm not bad, but I'm quite lazy as well, because I'm quite it's kind of time constricted with trying to get the channel, looking after Kel. You know, I help my mum sometimes out with things like the garden in the summer, so I can be very time constricted. So I tend to just find things very quickly, and it's not always the cheapest thing. Sometimes I'm really good. I go through phases of being really good and really bad at finding bargains. There you go, Juliet. Michelle's at Subdue. Not many places sell them in the UK, even eBay. They're around £13. Oh, well, there, Kelly. There you go. See, it's different. Interesting how different it is in America and here, isn't it? Oh, another sub for Juliet. 278 subs Juliet has. Okay, thanks, Nathan, for that. I knew it was 200 and something. So you're not far off the 300 mark, Juliet. So you'll find when you get past 300, if you start doing really regular, if you sort of set, well, perhaps you're not on Facebook, okay. So you're on Instagram though, aren't you? So I could message you through Instagram. Remind me though, Juliet, message me on in Instagram, and we'll have a conversation. I'll see what I can do to help you grow a bit more. But if you sort of, you know, decide whether you're going to do like 1 a week or 2 weeks, whatever, we can talk about that, and then I'll know how to promote you. But that will help you grow as well. But you're not far off 300. So, I mean, you've grown a lot since I started following you. So, it is slow, the first few hundred, to be fair. I have an interchangeable set and a few fixed. See, my sets of needles are interchangeable. I bought some, if you remember, in the gift haul. I got some for, I think it was Christmas last year. Trouble is, Christmas and my birthday are so close together, so I get confused, but it was one or the other. About a year ago. You're welcome, Juliet. I knit them tandem all the time. Wow. See, the other thing with socks and knitting is, I know Zoe doesn't always match her socks up, and sometimes she does, but I have perfectionism issues, which is part of my mental health and partly what contributed to my breakdown, and I would want them matching. I'm a bit funny like that. I'm way behind on the comments, just let me catch up. I've got a numb bum, I don't know about everyone else. I always start the second sock the minute I finish the first. Right, okay, so I must not procrastinate. Yarn and Yarns, she's in Wales and knits and crochets, and is new to owning a yarn shop. Oh, okay. Nathan, will you put the link up on your Facebook for me so I can find her? And I'll sub her later on when I get off stream. We got extra money for food, but not to live completely off it. That's a shame. Well, hopefully you'll excel this year and make lots more money, Lina. Or I knit them in tandem, like Lina said. I'm a housewife. I don't know whether I'd knit them in tandem or if I'd have to push myself. Don't feel shy to ask, Juliet. It's really important. You want your channel to grow, you're going to have to ask. I didn't feel comfortable the first time, but when you've done it a few times, I've never had any negative comments about it. And if you watch really big YouTubers that have got millions and millions of subscribers, they will regularly ask. So you've got to learn from the big ones. That's what I do. I watch a lot of big YouTubers, like people like Kid Behind a Camera, stuff that's not crochet related. I watch a lot of vloggers as well, and they will always say, don't forget to subscribe to my channel. So don't be shy about it. Oh, Kim watches it too. Oh, that's good. I haven't seen Kim in the stream this time. She's got kids at home, hasn't she? Thank you for what you have done for me today. I have to go now. Happy New Year to you. You're very welcome, Eve. Let me know. Put a comment in one of my videos and let me know that you've put one up, just in case I miss it, because I get a lot in my news feed. And I will do what I can to help you. Happy New Year. I've just started using the end screen for sub and video. I think it's helped. Yep, it has helped. Yep, that will help. Absolutely, Sonia. Yep, that's the plan. Yeah, I love watching Katrina as well, Nathan. I mean, she's been very kind to me as well, so I'm a little bit biased. But I think because I live near, she lives in a city, I live in a town. She's in Cambridgeshire, I'm in Suffolk, but they're not too far away. I could get on a train and be with her within about 40 minutes to an hour, depending on how quick the trains were. So I could go visit her, she could visit here. So we did talk about possibly doing a mental health video together, because she suffers from mental health problems. So that may be something that we'll do this year. I'm not quite too sure. Yeah, it is, Kelly. You do sort of feel like you're sitting in her front room just having a chat. I think that's true for a lot of us, isn't it? A lot of people I watch. I think the person I feel most comfortable watching as though I'm in the room with them is Jan. And I think that's because she goes off topic. And obviously she's got such a wealth of information and history, and I can listen to Jan for hours. I absolutely love it. But I find the same with everybody. I could just sit and listen to her all hours. I'm quite disappointed when the video ends a lot of the time. eBay is your best friend forever. Always check seller rating and check sellers that allow offers. Can you buy from Hong Kong sellers in the UK? Yeah, I think we can. You have the horrible VAT. Yeah, and VAT went up in recent years as well. It used to be 17.5%. It's now 20%. Good old government ripping us off even more. How funny was that Crash Bandicoot video there? Yeah, Nathan, I should just explain that Nathan's on my personal Facebook, and he put a video up of his mum playing Crash Bandicoot on PS4, I think it was, wasn't it, Nathan? And she was kind of doing this with the controller. I do a similar thing when I'm playing driving games. I tend to do this. I think because I do drive, it's just an instinctive thing, but it was hilarious. He put a hilarious video of his mum up. It's very funny. Yes, Nathan, put the link on my page. That's absolutely fine. That's what it's there for. I started knitting socks one at a time, but my next pair will be two at a time. At the moment, I have about 1/2 socks done. Okay. How have you found that, doing it that way? Yarn and Yarn is about 10 minutes away from me. Oh, is it, Sarah? That's interesting. Jan just makes you feel like you're at home, like you're there with her. It's great. Yeah, absolutely. I love Jan to bits. Jan and I can natter on Messenger as well, and if we get chatting, sometimes we can be there for 8 or 10 hours. I can lose a whole day talking to Jan, so I don't think what it would be like if I was in the same room. Born free, taxed to death, absolutely nerdy. I'll put a video up of me playing Horizon Zero Dawn, but no, laugh out loud. Oh, thanks, Deb. I wasn't, everyone's saying how nice the tree is. I wasn't very happy with it this year. I put different tinsel on, and but I was happy with how I had it last year, so I'm going to change it very slightly, but thank you. I'm glad you all like it. That tree was an absolute bargain. That tree is actually, if you're in the UK, you will know this store, Woolworths. And it must have been rejected stock or old stock, and somebody on my local market actually had some ex-Woolworths stock for sale, and this was before they went bankrupt. And that tree, it's a 4-foot tree, and it cost me £2, and I've had it for about 15-20 years. I think about 15 years, I think, roughly. And it's still like new. Biggest bargain, talking about bargains, that was my biggest bargain I've ever got. I swear a lot when hacking machines to death. Canada used to have Woolworths. Did it? That's interesting. I didn't know that. Well, it went bust here in the UK, unfortunately, and most people still pine for it. Yeah, £2. Yeah, it was a bargain. Yeah. Yeah, I loved Woolies too, Julia. Absolutely loved it. I miss the pick and mix stuff because you could just have like a couple of each sweet. You could really mix it up nicely. I wanted to lean just one at a time to understand the construction of sock before trying to keep track of doing one half of 2 socks on each knee. Oh, okay, Brenda. Sarah says, hi, Sonia. Yeah, that was a good deal. My tree was a really good deal. That has been the thing that will probably see me through the rest of my life, to be honest. Yes, Nathan, you can. That's absolutely fine. The pick and mix is one of my childhood favourite memories. Had a real thing for the sherbet pips. Oh, yeah. Gosh, I haven't thought of those for a long while. Yeah, it's the same for me, Sonia. Childhood memories. I cast on 64 stitches, knit the cuff. Back, phone battery died, now back on the iPad. Oh, hi Michelle, welcome back. If you are old enough, you know what Woolworths is in the US. Oh, do you? Did you have it in the US then? I didn't realise it actually went across. Leg, divide in half, 32 stitches for heel. Knit the heel flap, do turn in of the heel, pick up gusset stitches. See, I'm lost already. I know what the gusset is, but picking up stitches and stuff has never been something I've been very good at. Oh, you know Woolworths as well, Deb? Started as a 5 and dime. Ah. that's really interesting. I used to love Woolworths because you could get everything from sweets to shoelaces to toys to vinyl records, showing me age there, or CDs when obviously the CDs came out, and they just did a bit of everything. It was a really useful shop to have in town, and our town has been so much worse without it. All back down to 64 stitches. Do your foot, decrease the toe. You can use a crochet hook for picking up stitches. Yeah, I have heard that. I haven't actually tried that. I do toe up, short row, heel socks. Never made any other kind. See, I haven't, because I haven't done any of this. I'm like, okay. I don't know why, but socks just sound so complicated to me. Nerdy, do you ever do short row heels or other heels? I start with the heel flap. Do you know what I really like about streaming is that you guys are all getting to talk to each other. It's nice where perhaps you might not have interacted in the comments section on a normal video. I really like that you guys are all interacting. It's really encouraging. There's a Woolworths in Canada. So is Woolworths still up and running in Canada then? Or have you not, Cheryl? I think I defeat myself before I start when it comes to socks. Laugh at that. Yeah, I'm a bit worried I'll be the same, Deb. No, but I've done toe up. I can't share it on this live. Can you not, Nathan? Well, I haven't set. I mean, it's public. Just share it on the page or the group. That's fine. Don't worry. I've got links. When this actually goes up onto YouTube, there will be links underneath where to find my Facebook group and page anyway. So. It's interesting that we all find different channels actually that you know, Nathan's watching a channel I've never even heard of. It's interesting how you sort of come across people. I do like recommendations because then you know you go into someone that's good. I'm going to challenge myself this year with knitting socks. Good for you, Deb. I'm still not sure if I am or not. I've just shared it to your Facebook page, but I can't see it on there. Okay. I can't look at the moment because obviously I'd have to come out of the stream, so I hope you sort it out later, Nathan, if not. If you can't share it on the page, Nathan, share it on my personal one and I'll share it onto the page from there if you want. I found so many of the channels I watched through you, Karen. Oh, good. Well, I'm glad that you found other people through me. That's really exciting for me. I just started doing toe up instead and found that the short row heel was easier for me than heel flap and gusset. I'll take your word for it. So are we all old timers here in the stream staying in tonight watching TV? Yep, Juliet is. I like watching the bongs because Big Ben should be turned back on for tonight, shouldn't it? Yeah, Sonia is as well. And Cheryl, that's good. Karen, I felt the same way before I tried socks. Okay, so that's good to know. So it's not just me then. Yep, Debbie's as well. Kelly says, I'll be asleep by 11. I always am. Are you not seeing the new year in then? My mum's the same. I said to her, you can come over, Mum, and see it in with us if you want. Oh, I'll be asleep by then, she said. Yep, with a tipple in my hand, I'll be doing the same. Just the one. Was it Dot on EastEnders says, is it just the one? Is that where I've got that from? Yeah. I'll probably be drinking Corona tonight, so I probably might put one or two. I have been to Times Square, but not on New Year's Eve. Do you know what I always think that You did see the ball though, or did you? See, I fancy going there in some respects, but my anxiety wouldn't let me do it, if that makes sense. Because it always looks so busy. The one thing I would really love to do is go down to Trafalgar Square, or down near Big Ben, in London for New Year's. Just once. Don't know whether I cope with the crowds, but I would like to try at some point. But it's just never been very practical because it's trains, and it means you really got to get a hotel, and because obviously you've got limited train services and all that stuff. So I've been to Times Square, but not on New Year's Eve. I did see the ball. I've read that one. Sorry. My kids wake up early. Oh, bless you. Yes, I don't have that problem. Yeah, Nathan says me too. I'll have a peppermint tea in my hand. Well, I'll raise a drink to you then, Sonia. Sarah's staying in as well. I always try to, but I never make it. I'm up at 5 with the kids, so it's just too long a day. Oh, good grief. They get up at 5 a.m, Kelly. No wonders you're going to bed early. We have sparkling grape juice. We actually do have some of that here, actually. We have some slur. But I'm not overly keen on it. But we do have that if we want to sort of have something sparkly instead of, you know, alcohol. Yeah, that's what I thought, Juliet. Wow, 5 a.m. Don't see me. But I was going to sleep at 5 a.m. this morning. Been up all night with the dog last night, so probably won't be able to stay up now. Oh, no, Cheryl. Well, I'm not too sure whether I'm going to last either. I'm hoping I will, but... yeah, I just couldn't get to sleep last night, so I was up till 5. I think I fell asleep, and then I woke up at 10, so I had 5 hours sleep. I normally get about 8 or 9. I miss my boys being young, but certainly don't miss the very early mornings. Yeah, I bet. It's funny, when I was a teenager, I never had a problem getting up in the mornings for school or college. I was a bit not so good at the weekends. Now I struggle to get up. I'm not a morning person at all. You wouldn't like me first thing in the morning. I'm very grumpy and grouchy and snipey, and leave me alone till I've had my cup of tea and watched a bit of YouTube first thing in the morning. That's how I wake myself up. Staying at home. Don't bother taking train and just see drunk people. Well, that's the other side to it, Lina, is dealing with drunk people, isn't it? That's the only bit that really puts me off these days. I mean, I have been one of those annoying drunk people in the past, but I never got so drunk that I didn't know what I was doing. I'd kind of get happily merry. I've been drunk a couple of times where I've had, you know, to pray to the porcelain, so to speak. But that's usually just because I've drunk too quickly rather than the quantity. A bit of a lightweight when it comes to alcohol, so I've never been kind of drunk where I didn't know what I was doing. I don't understand the people that say they black out. That's a completely alien concept to me. Nobody's not a morning person either. I'm glad I'm not the only one. I'm a real grump first thing in the morning. Kel and I leave each other alone for the first half an hour when we wake up. She's not too bad in the mornings, but she knows just to leave me alone, have me morning cup of tea, watch a couple of videos, whoever's put stuff up overnight, and yeah, go from there. Everybody knows to leave me alone when I go up. Yep, I'm the same nerdy. Yep. Anybody that knows me well knows do not rile the bear first thing in the morning. We're staying at home, but kids are having 2 of their cousins over this afternoon to stay night, and it's only 8:40 a.m. Oh dear. Gonna be a long day for you. I love having kids visit. Kel's niece quite often comes and visits us, but it's hard work now. We used to have it 4 days a week. I couldn't do it now. You like that, Deb, did you? Oh, little snort. See, that's something you don't normally see on the channel. It's a family trait, that. I'm the same way. Even the dog leaves me alone, really. Well, dogs like consistency, so you've obviously been consistent enough that the dog's understood it. I hate mornings because of pain is bad. Oh, bless you. Sometimes that is an issue for me too, Lina, so I do understand. Hi. Crochet Hooks R Us 81. What's your actual name? I do like live streaming because I'm getting to find out people's actual names, because I always feel it's a bit rude to ask in the comments. Probably isn't, but I sort of feel a bit funny about asking. It's easier to do it. Pam. Hi, Pam. Thanks for joining us. I don't know how much longer I'm going to be on because I've been on for 1 hour and 40 minutes, 2 hours and 40 minutes. So I'll probably be on for about another 20 minutes, half an hour, something like that, because I've got some cooking to do. Food, coffee, pleh, put my teeth in. Coffee, medication is a must before I function. Yeah, I'm very similar. I do understand that. Well, I've kind of given up on my crochet. I've been nattering so much, I've just stopped concentrating on drinking my tea. So my voice don't go. When I got up this morning, my voice was a bit croaky because I hadn't slept very much, and I was kind of like, oh no, because I do have a tendency to lose my voice. I've had laryngitis in the past, so I have that tendency. I do my social media trawl before I get up. Gives me a chance to wake up. That's exactly what I do, Sonia. What are you making with the squares? What I'm going to do is use up scraps that I've got, because I've got so many little, you know, scraps that I've caked up, you know, sort of this sort of size and smaller. So what I'm going to do is make some granny squares. I'm going to probably border them. I'm thinking possibly cream, so it's a nice light bright colour. Just keep it as a granny square. So I'm not quite sure what border I'm going to do, but I'm going to border each colour with probably cream, and then obviously join them all together. Not sure if I'm going to keep it for myself or give it away to charity, but see how much I like it when I've finished. I did, thank you, Pam. Yes, did you have a good Christmas? Good thing about granny squares, they're quick and easy to do as well. Yeah, that's what I'm hoping. I'm actually blaming Sian for this, because Sian's been doing a similar thing. And I do have a scrap blanket that I started, which is Jada and Stitch's one. But it's been very slow going because it's double-stranded. I think I've been enjoying it, but I just haven't got very far with it. And I thought granny squares, you know, you can take it anywhere. So if we're going to hospital, you know, because obviously both Kel and I have a lot of hospital and doctor's appointments. So granny squares is a nice, easy one you can take with you. You haven't got to think about what you're doing. And now I've got that little yarn cutter as well that Kel bought me. I'm hoping that that's going to make life a lot more practical going out. Yes, apart from I was not well, but it was good. Oh, I'm sorry you weren't well. I had a bit of an upset tummy over Christmas as well. So I did have one year, a few years back, which was actually turned out at the start of my breakdown, but I didn't realise that at the time, where I had chronic flu. That was the worst Christmas I ever had. All I had was one sausage roll all day. I just didn't want to eat. But this year wasn't that bad in comparison. But I hope you feel better. Yeah, I agree, Juliet. That is the only thing. I love doing blankets, and I start off with them in a real gusto, and I get like a third of the way or half the way through it, and then I just get bored. So I have to really make myself finish. So, for instance, the virus blanket I've been doing in the boho Signet, which I started quite a long while ago now. I haven't really touched it because we're doing 2 videos a week. Obviously, I'm trying to get things finished, and I'm not cramming that in time, and that is something that I want to try and make a bit more time for. I think in the last year I've only worked on that blanket once, and it's something I really wanted to put on my bed because it's working up just beautifully. It's such lovely yarn. But yeah, I do agree, you do get bored quick with blankets. I'm so done with granny squares. 10 per week for 3 months for a cowl I was doing. Oh, it's the only trouble with crochet alongs. I don't know if Joe's still in the... Joe, are you still in the stream? But Joe and I have been looking at... we've been talking online, and we've been trying to find a crochet along. But a lot of them seem to be blankets, and I just don't know if I'm... because I've got to fit it in around the channel stuff as well. I would show it on the channel, but I would probably show it as a completed project. Mine is my asthma. I'm getting there. Oh, bless you. Well, my friend I care for's got asthma, so I know how difficult it can be. So I'm glad it's improving. Hope you're soon back to normal. Oh, do you, Lina? What are you thinking about doing? Well done, Nathan. You've just managed to share on my timeline, I see. I have one more kid to make it for. Oh, bless. I've learned my lesson. Too much pressure. Yeah, absolutely, Cheryl. I'm not sure what to make. Depends what sort of thing floats your boat, really, Lina, to be honest. I mean, I've done quite a few different blankets on the channel, but Holly Whedon is starting a cowl for a shawl on the 7th. I think I will be starting that. Is that knitting or crochet there, Kelly? No, Terry was looking at crochet along as well, weren't you, Terry? I've never done a cowl or cowl. So it's pronounced the same, isn't it? But I want to at some point. Just waiting for inspiration. Yeah, I've never done a cowl. I've looked at quite a few over the time, but I tend to find out after they've started and they're halfway through, and then I don't really. I tried one knitting cowl, which was Marley Bird on YouTube, and she made some mistakes in her instruction video, and because I'm not an accomplished knitter, it was for a shawl, and everyone's like, oh, you need to rip so many rows out and stuff, and I was like, I'm not confident ripping out and putting it back in. She did try and encourage me, to be fair to her, but I just got really disheartened, and I ripped it out and I made a cloak out of crochet. That was the yarn that Pearl sent me. I think her channel badge is Yarn Journey or Crochet Journey. It's crochet. Oh, okay. I'll have to look that one up. Try and remember that. Somebody remind me of that, will they? Put a comment on my Facebook, will you? So I don't. There's only trouble when you live stream, you don't see the comments afterwards. So I might have to look into that one. I'm not quite sure what I want to do. I want to do something that's enjoyable, that's going to challenge me, but isn't too complicated, if that makes sense. And it'd be quite nice if there was a few of us doing, you know, a cowl, because then we can all help each other as well. That's what I was thinking. If I remember, I'll send you the ink on your stock. Thanks, Kelly. I'd really appreciate that. Thank you. That'd be a big help, because my memory is so bad. And having not slept, it's worse than normal at the moment. You're lucky I remembered the right time for the start of the stream, to be honest. It was a bit of a scramble, because I wanted to have a bath beforehand. That was the fastest bath I've ever had in my life. As washing my hair takes quite a long time to do, because it's quite long, and my hair's very dry, so I have to condition it and all that stuff, so it takes quite a while to do. So my hair's still wet. You can't really tell because it's plaited, but it's kind of wet going into damp now. That'll still probably be damp tomorrow morning. It takes a long time to dry. Only trouble when you plait it, but if I don't plait it, it ends up out here. I have naturally curly hair, and it's very frizzy. I know Sian has a similar problem. Her hair goes very frizzy as well. But I think Sian's hair is a lot thicker than mine. So is anyone else planning on doing a cowl of any description? So the kettle is a 1 litre digital variable temperature gooseneck. Wow, that does sound very fancy, nerdy. No wonder it costs so much money. Never had a fast bath. Mine are normally 2 to 4 hours. Well, apart from sleeping, my bath is my only downtime, really. So I am usually in the bath. What I normally do is I take my tablet in, put Netflix on with I've got a little speaker that's through Bluetooth, and I watch usually some sort of series on Netflix, and I can be in the bath for a couple of hours, but that really is my downtime. So that's kind of, you know, I get left alone and sort of just have my own thoughts and stuff, so it's an important time for me. Send you link on messages. Thank you, Lana. I have curly wavy hair too. Oh, do you know, We've got quite a lot in common, haven't we? You might as well have a perm, Karen. Do you know what? When I was a teenager, I wanted a perm when it was really, you know, back in the late 80s when it was all the big curly. And all my friends got perms, and I wanted to have a perm. But the person that used to cut my hair was actually my mum's cousin, because she was a hairdresser. So my mum obviously had some influence on what would be done, and I called her my Auntie Georgine, and she would flatly refuse to do it. Actually, now I'm really glad, because my hair is so dry. I think it would have really damaged my hair. And to be honest, Nathan, I don't really need a perm. If you saw me, if I dried my hair with a diffuser, you'd be amazed how curly my hair is. So I don't really need a perm, really. If anything, I'd like to have it like chemically straightened. I prefer my hair straight, ironically, but we're never happy with how we've got our hair naturally, do we? I'm in a cow by the Cozy Up with the Stitching Sisters on Ravelry. I've not heard of those. It's the Sister Shore cow. So is it? It's a knit along then, because you've done it with a K. Bath helps my pain levels, so lay there and relax. And yes, I'm on Netflix as well. Well, we're obviously very similar in that respect then, Sonia. I have to say, when I have endometriosis pain, bath has helped. As long with hot water bottles, painkillers don't touch my pain, so I'm always in the bath, always at least 2 hours in the bath. I see, we're obviously not alone on that one, Sonia, see, so there's a few of us that like long baths. I actually prefer bath to showers now because I can lay back and relax and take my time. I have fine straight hair, used to get perms back in the 80s. See, so they were a big thing in the 80s, weren't they? I don't need a perm. If I wash it, I end up with some ringlets. Oh wow, yours is curlier than mine then. Mine doesn't actually ringlet unless I twist it around my finger. But I just have kind of like lots of little curls. I find if I have more layers cut in my hair, I've got 2 long layers at the minute, so it's not quite as curly. If I have lots of short layers, my hair is really curly. Well, I have to go and walk the dog and then bath time for him. Okay, Deb, well, thanks very much for joining me. Happy New Year to you. My grandfather had very curly hair. See, I don't know if any of my grandparents did, actually. I don't know where I get my curly hair from. Oh, do you, Lina? Well, the only thing with curly hair I will say is it's very difficult to manage because it goes very dry and very frizzy. So it's difficult to get curly hair to look pretty. If you spend a long time doing it, you know, you can spend a couple of hours making it look nice. Then I quite enjoy having it curly sometimes, but it's a lot of work to keep it looking nice. Same for me, Karen. Hot water bottles are my best friends. Love that. Hubby's actually making me some now. My pain meds don't help either. Oh, bless you. I'm sorry to hear that, Sonia. But I do know how you feel. It's a nightmare, isn't it? Hot bath does ease my pain, but my bath is so small it's unbelievable. Is it, Nathan, really? Would you not have a standard size bath? Because you've got fibromyalgia, isn't it? So, which from what I've read, fibro is actually closely linked to endo as well, interestingly. So I don't know if your pain presents in the same sort of way as mine. I know that fibro is very painful. Happy New Year to you, Deb. Hope you have a lovely New Year's Eve when you get to it. You're a bit behind us. My brother had curly hair and my son had the same. Skipped me completely. Isn't that strange how it can do that in generations? I'm really short, so a small bath's not a problem for me, Nathan. Laugh out loud. See, that would be a problem for me because I'm quite tall. I'm 5'7.5", so I've noticed a lot of young male teenagers are having perms. Are they, Nathan? I haven't noticed this. This has obviously passed me by. It's obviously coming back round then. My mum's hair is super curly. I'm 5'9". Baths are annoying. Gosh, you're really tall then, Nerdy. You're taller than me. I'm quite tall. I miss a bathtub. I have fibro and it did help to take a bath. Yeah, I think anything with chronic pain, I think heat is such a good, you know, whatever source you've got. The thing is with water, it takes pressure off your limbs and stuff as well, doesn't it? So I think that's why it's sort of a combination of heat and taking the pressure off your limbs as well. I think that's why it helps. It's a shame you haven't got a bath. I have fibro as well. That's what my meds is meant to help with me. Same with my... Oh, you got ME as well, Sonia? I didn't realise that. I've got a friend that's got ME. He has terrible pain with that. It's a very misunderstood condition. Isn't it interesting that most of us on here have all got hidden health problems? You've got all sorts going on. Well, you are special, Nathan, but you don't need to be greedy with health problems, you know. I have seen pictures of your pill pots and it looks horrific, Nathan. I do feel for you. I feel quite lucky that I've only got a couple of conditions, really. Mental health on its own is bad enough to deal with, to be fair, but physical ones are so draining. Oh, geez, I'm not even going to try and pronounce that, Yvonne, but bless your heart. I have heard of that, but I can't pronounce it. I'm not going to embarrass myself. Bless you. Wishing everyone who has pain relief this year. Oh, thank you. Yeah, I wish that, if that's my biggest New Year wish, that's my wish for everybody this year. Yeah, my family do not understand. My brother even told me to stop being so lazy and get a job if we need money. That's actually quite common. One of the things that I found in the endometriosis support group on Facebook is that a lot of women are getting criticised for being lazy and to shut up because they've just got period pain, but it's not period pain, it's something much more complicated than that. I have mild asthma and some consequences of ageing, but meh, yeah. Well, we've all got the consequences of ageing, haven't we? You okay?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I know. I'm going to come off soon, so I'm just getting pointed out. We're getting takeaway tonight, so it's
I'm getting hangry, guys. Sorry.
She's getting hangry. It's never a good thing. She likes the food, so I'm going to have.
Yeah.
Oi, don't swear on the channel.
Okay. Lovely head.
Oh, you have it too, Juliet. Oh, it affects your eyes as well, Yvonne. That's interesting. Funny enough, endometriosis, although it isn't an immune problem, it does suppress my immune system, which is why I pick up so many bugs. So I do feel for you. I've got a friend that suffers from lupus, so I do sort of sympathise with autoimmune. It's terrible to deal with. Migraines, yeah. Yeah, your migraines are really bad though, Sonia, because they're more like a stroke, aren't they? It sounds horrific. I don't know how you cope with that. Got to go, guys. Happy New Year. Happy New Year, Pam. Thank you for joining us. Really appreciate you dropping in the stream. Kelly says, Kel, I just had my takeaway, laugh out loud.
What did she have?
What did you have? She said. My rheumatologist. Oh, God. I thought. Oh, so you nearly got misdiagnosed then, Nathan. If anyone tells me I'm lazy, I have to get a job. I want to. You have a cyst in the centre of your brain. My goodness. Neurologists don't think they cause symptoms. Migraine and seizure-like events are maddening. Yeah. Oh, bless you. That's awful. Yep, Sarah Sarah and I have a little bit of a special connection. She's just said on the comments she has spina bifida. And I don't know whether I've mentioned it on the channel, but I have an older brother who sadly has passed away. He passed away before I was born, so I never got a chance to meet him on this side of life. And he had spina bifida and hydrocephalus, which are two conditions that go hand in hand. So I have a little special connection with Sarah, because obviously it's a condition that I have some understanding of. She had spicy rice, samosas and salad. Yeah, she's going, yeah. She doesn't like spicy stuff, Kelly, so sounds good to me, though. Oh, there you go. She just replied to you in the comments. How can something like that not cause symptoms? Yeah, exactly. I agree with you, Sonia. It must do something if it's in your brain. They check it with blood. I look after my kids and my house, so... Well, that's the thing. I think people forget, even if you're at home, that, you know, you're doing cooking and cleaning or crafting or whatever. You know, people often think I sit on my bum all day, and I do sit and crochet for a while, but I'm cooking and cleaning and looking after Kel, helping her with whatever, you know, whatever her needs are on any particular day. You know, I just find bathing and getting dressed exhausting. So, you know, I'm sure a lot of you are the same. Kel's time feed me. I'm going to have to go in a minute, guys. I'm getting nagged. Well, do you know what, Nathan? You're not far off her surname, so she definitely is Crabby. Her surname is Crab, so with an E, 2 B's and an E, so you're not far off there, Nathan. Yeah, we've got to order it yet, so we've got to find it. Our favourite takeaway is a kebab place, and they do pizzas and kebabs and all sorts of stuff, and they're really, really good. And it's actually the place where, I don't know if you remember, I did that video about Corey, the guy that went missing in my hometown. He's still missing, he's still not been found, and that was the last place he ate. So that tells you he had at least had a good last meal. Not very nice, I know, but we're hoping they're open, but they weren't open the last time we tried, because we think they might be shut over Christmas and New Year, which is a bit of a, so might have to have Chinese if not. My crafts are my job, and it's my business, so it is a job. Yeah, exactly, Sonia. And you have to build business up, so tell them to stick it where the sun don't shine, don't, you know, politely. That's my opinion, but I'm surprised to find that every doctor's dismissed it. Now, the only thing I will say about doctors dismissing stuff, that's a problem with a lot of people with endometriosis have, and other hidden conditions, is that doctors dismiss symptoms. Don't forget, you can ask for a second opinion. Don't just get fobbed off. Fight your corner. It's so important. I had to do that with my mental health problems. I got fobbed off for a really long time. Here's some antidepressants. I had anaphylactic on the first ones I had, and it nearly killed me. And then they're like, here, have some different ones. I was like, I don't want to try any others. I want therapy and stuff. And because it's not very good where I live for mental health problems, I went for 18 months without any help, just on my mental health problems alone. And I had to go in as mentally ill as I was at the time and fight my corner. And because I fought my corner, I got to see a psychiatrist, which I wouldn't have got to see. And I got put on the right medication first time round. Had a little bit of a rough road. I did collapse on my first dose. But that was because it lowered my blood pressure. Nothing more sinister than that. And I was really glad I fought my corner. So I think it may have to be... I think it's something you do have to fight your corner. You're not imagining your symptoms, and it's really important that you fight your corner, hon. And I hope you do get somebody that listens to you. Oh, you knew that, did you? Oh, yeah, I suppose you've seen her on my Facebook, haven't you? Yeah. Of course, Nathan, yeah, duh. See, I'm getting hungry and brain's not working properly. But she does get crabby when she's needing a takeaway. No, I'm all gristly, Nathan. She wouldn't want to eat me. I'm getting tempted to come on stream and bite those hands off. We're having pizza, chips, and garlic bread, not takeaway. Oh, that sounds good, Nathan. Come and cook for me. You're very welcome, hon. I hope that does help you. Just don't give up. I was having heart palpitations and went to the doctor in Canada, and he was like, laugh out loud, it's anxiety, and basically tossed me out the door. That's the problem when you suffer with anxiety. They do dismiss you quite a lot, unfortunately. Ooh, yeah, pizza sounds good, doesn't it? Well, on that note, I think I'm going to end the stream before she does decide to eat me, because I don't think she's far off. We're going to have to wait. Yeah, she is on here. I've seen her. But well, we've done 3 hours this time, so even longer this time. So thank you guys for joining me. I really appreciate it. To see what Juliet said. Have a wonderful New Year, Juliet. Thank you. Happy New Year, guys. Happy New Year, Kelly. Thanks, Lina. Thanks, everybody. I really appreciate it. Happy New Year to you all. I know most of you are staying at home, but I hope you have a lovely time tonight. Enjoy it. And I hope the new year is, you know, as blessed and happy and full of wonderful things, and obviously crafty things for you all. And I look forward to seeing what's going to happen with all our channels. So if you want me to give you a shout out, those of you just remember to remind me. If I do forget, it's just because of my memory problems. So do remind me, for those of you that we're going to sort stuff out. Because I need jogging. Yeah, it's going to end. So I'm going to finish it. Let's just see if the end button is actually going to work this time. This could be interesting. I'm just going to put my cup down before I do that. So let's see if the end button does actually work. I know what I've got to press, but it's just last time I just shut the app down. So Happy New Year, everyone. Thank you. Yeah, do remind me of things that I've said, because I will forget. And I won't watch this back because I don't like watching myself. So Happy New Year, sweetheart. Yeah, right. I'll see you guys. Thanks for joining me. I really appreciate it. Happy New Year. See you soon. Bye.